It stinks in here. Why does it stink in here? Because Winston was eating Brussels sprouts, and then RB3 said some really dumb shit like Kristen Stewart being the best of all time. See you in a little bit. Welcome back to I Work with Lunatics, SEN Live. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the morning show here on the Schmoebot Entertainment Network. So happy to see you all here. Hope you had a great weekend. This is going to be a lot of fun. David Michael Frank in the house.
What's up?
You're ready to go. You're ready to go. Ben Goddard back from his sick bed. He is here. He is here. RB3 on the table in the house. He said some controversial shit right before we started. We'll get into that for sure. Kate Mulligan.
Never has said controversial shit.
No, she's on the runs, and we also.
Well done.
Thank you. And we have gifts that she gave, and the man who is single. He is responsible for stinking up this entire office today with a big bowl of Brussels sprouts. What the hell is wrong with you, Winston Marshall?
I mean,
nice sweatshirt.
Well, first of all, we beat our first team above 500, so we're allowed to do that shit. So I'm going to rock that all day. I know there's a few Cowboy fans, a lot more haters in the room, so that's fine. Also, yeah, I ate a goddamn bowl of Brussels sprouts. One.
Do you think that's nice to do to someone?
First of all, it didn't smell that bad. The shit will be gone in like 2 seconds.
Well, that has nothing to do with anything but when it goes away. It's about in the now, in the moment. It was awful. Did it smell like shit when you walked in here? Be honest.
Yes, but also in fairness, it has smelled like kitty litter in here.
Yeah, but we know why that was.
No.
Yes, we did. You and I figured it out last week because it rained and everybody kept tracking water in here in the fucking room.
That's fine.
But it went away.
That's fine. You know what also made it smell like shit in here? When you made me eat a bowl of tuna max.
That's different. That was for the bit.
That
was for the bit.
Well, this is also a bit. This is also a bit. It's Monday.
Because now we can talk about it about how stink that is.
Look. I already told you. I already told you. I'm black. I've been playing the dozen since I came out the motherfucking womb. So if you want to go here, I already have a response to all your shit.
I walked in and I looked around and said, "What is that?" Next thing you know, Brussels sprouts. Okay.
Hey, look.
Watch out.
Look, see, this is how I know I have to calm down because I went into dozens mode. I almost said the N-word being like an N-word has trying to lose weight. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to lose some motherfucking weight. So I got to, look, if I got to eat some motherfucking Brussels sprouts, everybody else got to be uncomfortable. If I got to suffer, y'all got to suffer with me, goddammit.
Thanks.
Y'all got to suffer with me.
Okay.
You my friends.
You look over and say, "What's that?" Winston don't give a shit. Not as bad though as what RB3 said.
Yeah.
RB3, you said that Kristen Stewart was the best actress of the decade.
Nah. I said, there's a Twitter thing that came out.
There's a Twitter thing that came out.
Kristen Stewart was the actress of the decade.
That's what it said.
I'm not totally mad at that.
I am.
I didn't hate that.
You can get on board with it.
I can get on board with it. You know why? Because you're
stoned.
People look at Twilight. I wish I was. He's a tired eyes. But I listen. You look at Kristen Stewart's filmography. Like, take Twilight aside. Everything else she's been in, fire. Still Alice, fire. Clouds of Still Marie, fire. Like all of these super indie films that like you kind of have to look for.
I don't disagree with that. She was in the Jack Kerouac movie and everything. She's a good actress. There's no doubt about it. And I think the same thing that happened to Pattinson happens to her when it comes to the Twilight stigma.
But Pattinson might be one of the actors of the decade.
Now you're putting him. There's a difference between saying actors who've got a lot of talent and then putting them at top of the list.
Exactly.
Because you're looking at, I heard Amy Adams was thrown around out there.
Davis
out there.
You got me with Viola Davis.
I mean, I think Florence Pugh is a better actress than Kristen Stewart. She's been in 4 movies.
No. Listen, we're in the Florence Pugh high right now. Of course, like Midsommar. Black Widow's about to come out, so she's obviously having a hot year. That's dope. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence had a hot year too.
Right, Jennifer Lawrence.
But I'm not gonna put Jennifer Lawrence
over Kristen Stewart.
I would.
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams.
Michelle
Williams to me is the top actress.
2000s. I put it as a decade.
Did you see what she did in that movie?
Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone's up there
Emma
too.
Stone's close.
But for Michelle Williams, just did that. She's won the Emmy for whatever. What's the one that did the dancing fucking thing?
Oh, Fosse Verdon.
She was so good in that. She was great in Manchester by the Sea. She kills it in everything that she's in. By the way, did you know you were wrong about? You said Michelle Williams was in there.
It was Carey Mulligan. I always get those two.
I get them all the time. I don't mean to say you're wrong. But no, absolutely.
I will not take away Kristen Stewart's talent, but she is not actress of the decade.
Nah, I'm not saying she's the actress of the decade.
Gina Carano.
Okay, now you just now you trouble.
I mean, I put ScarJo over her. Honestly,
because
blockbuster hits and indie stuff.
I put ScarJo over her too.
Absolutely.
I put ScarJo over her too.
I guess
but hold on.
tricky.
But it's a 10-year period. So this is what I have to ask you. So did you see the decade list that came out for basketball players, and Kobe was ranked like number 6?
That's stupid.
No,
that's stupid.
Of the decade.
That's stupid.
Not of the last 2 decades. Not a full career.
Stop it. He won a championship in 2010.
In 2010. But Steph Curry was higher than them, which makes sense.
No.
Steph Curry won 3 championships this decade.
Bias is showing RB3.
2 MVPs.
Doesn't matter.
LeBron James was above him.
This is the same man that said Magic's over Jordan.
Don't talk over each other. Come on.
There would not be a Steph Curry without a Kobe Bryant.
I'm not saying, but we said of the decade. What did Kobe do other than that championship in this decade? That's all I'm asking. I didn't say career.
Scored 60 on his last game.
But, okay, over 1,000 shots. All right, if I shot 1,000 times, I can score 60 points.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
a little wrong.
Either.
Do you feel like? Sorry, you just said that there would be no Steph Curry without Kobe. Do you feel like there would be a Kobe without Jordan?
You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that.
All right.
No, you're right.
Okay, listen, everybody. So
it's the heat of show.
Already, right off the bat, and it's going to be an interesting week.
My holiday shopping.
So you can't assume that people are just catch up with everything happening on the social media. But we made an announcement tomorrow. We will not be having a show here. We're going to be running the full Schmoedown Spectacular. It's probably running it at like 9 in the morning. It's like a 5.5, 6 hour event, so it'll be going on for the majority of the day. I will be seeing Rise of Skywalker tonight, and then I'm going to be seeing it again tomorrow morning with Kate Mulligan. And Winston will be seeing it also tomorrow, and we'll be able to review. Well, Winston will be here on Wednesday, but we'll be reviewing it on Wednesday for sure once the embargo lifts. So a lot of stuff kind of going down. So make sure, obviously, if you can, and a lot of people have been asking when the Spectacular goes up, you watch it tomorrow. It will be available to watch. You can watch it live when you normally watch this show, but we're going to run it probably at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So pre-show will run with Brad and Frank. At 9, you'll see the fan expo, all the matches, the whole damn shebang. So make sure you check that out for sure. And the other thing I want to give a big prop and a shout out to again is our friends over at Arcade 1UP who sent us this Star Wars at Home arcade. It's really awesome. I love it. It features a real light flight yoke and control buttons. It's featured on the artwork that's featured about both the cabinet. It includes a riser. It's based on the original arcade machine work. Features a light up marquee, full color 17-inch display, and dual speakers to allow for endless hours of gaming. Star Wars at Home Arcade features the original arcade versions of the classic games based on Star Wars New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I've been playing Return of the Jedi because I stunk at it, right? And I got better. I finally finished the board. I got the top score in Return of the Jedi. I can't get the top score in the other ones, but none of you people will challenge me. Goddard's the only one.
Look, I'll stay here and whoop your ass.
Try it.
Yeah.
See if you can beat the Jedi one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw my PlayStation out the window, though.
Why?
Because of Fallen Order.
What happened?
This is a stupid thing. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat room, and I'll talk to Dimolanta about this too. And by the way, before I get into this, head on over to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and super chat. What is What's that? Is that playing in the trash?
Digging in his bagels.
Right into his bagels.
Kate bought him a bag of bagels for Christmas. It was amazing. But anyway, so go to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Let's turn the Schmoebot on now. Why not? We'll turn the Schmoebot on now, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it coming on here. If you want to interrupt the show, you can do it. Go to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. You get more characters over there, and YouTube doesn't take a percentage. But if you want to go and do Super Chat, that keeps the lights on here. So keep them coming on this wonderful Monday, and take advantage because we're not going to be here tomorrow. All right, so Fallen Order. I'm playing this game, playing it with my daughter. We try to play like at least an hour or two before, either when the baby's sleeping or at night before she goes to sleep. So you got to go to this one board. What the hell is it called? Daishi or whatever. Do you remember what the hell it's called?
Oh,
Zepho. Thank you. Daishi, Zepho, same fucking thing. So you have to go to Zepho before you Dathomir. You can fix the lightsaber. I did all that shit. So I'm getting out the planet. And you got to run back to your ship. I figure out I do this big sphere thing. I'm proud of myself. And I'm running back to the fucking ship. And then you got to swim. So you swim, you get back up, and you're supposed to go through this electrical. You're supposed to go through this cave. For me, this electrical field is up. So I'm like, oh, I must have missed something. I got to go back and you do electrical puzzle or some kind of shit to make sure that you can't go back. You go back up the ice slide. And you just keep going. I'm fucked. And now I can't change it over. So I've been spending 3 or 4 hours on this thing. It won't let me go back. So I'm running around looking. I've explored every single crevice on this stupid shit godforsaken fuckboy planet. and I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, well, I got to go back. I missed something, but you can't go back. So I think it's a glitch.
Did you look up on the Google?
I did. I looked up and I went and I said, okay, well, let me see. I'll use a cheat.
Shitball planet.
Yeah, I went to Fuckboy
How the
Planet.
fuck do I?
But I went back. I went back to see.
Sounds like a woman's worst
shitball.
nightmare.
It is.
Fuckball Planet.
Fuckboy
Planet.
But I went back to see, and I was like,
Fuckballs.
yeah, there's one thing. You're supposed to throw the droid. The droid's supposed to go into this box, open up the thing you're supposed to go through. The droid just sits there with his fucking dick in his hand when I'm doing it. It doesn't do shit.
Why is my droid sitting with his dick?
He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything.
That's
So,
how you know this show isn't for kids.
yes, this game sucks. Fuck this game. So it's
Reasons we need Kristian to start Twitch streaming his gameplay is because
Yeah,
this is amazing.
It's me running around, and my daughter. I was like, my 8-year-old's like, she's running around doing it too, and she's like, I'm like looking at her, she's like, I can't figure this shit out either, Dad. It didn't say shit, but still,
Turns into the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
it's just awful. It's just so stupid. It's like, and someone says, well, it's because you didn't do this. Well, don't let me go there then. It's like,
There's no
what happened to the
fast
game?
travel or some shit.
What happened to the games when you go to walk and you just bang into a wall?
Yeah.
What happens if you just bang into a wall and goes, well, you can't do that yet because you haven't done this.
Yeah.
Except, no, this lets you do that. It's the same thing with Dathomir. It's like it's a stupid glitch.
That's the one thing that I will give credit to. Like, I'm playing Borderlands 3 right now, is that they allow for fast travel. Like, you would lose your spot as far as where you are, but you can fast travel back to home at any point in time.
Or give me a tip. They did it once or twice. It'll pop up. It'll go tip. Where's my fucking tip? How do I get past this?
You just
shit?
want the tip?
Give me the tip.
You just want the tip.
I don't need it to go all the way in. I just need a tip. Just tell me, how do I slide? I know where I got to go. I got to slide between the wall, but guess what? There's an electrical field now. Figure it out, fucko. It's like, no. Tell me how to get through
the force,
the thing.
bitch.
I tried. I'm pushing the fucking wall, and the wall goes, fuck you. Force doesn't work on us.
Oh my god.
It's a stupid thing.
The game is like super shady too, because like I was fighting a boss and I kept dying, and it was like, to change your difficulty settings, go to the menu. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, jeez.
Bro,
Pick me while I'm down.
definitely just called you a bitch.
Yeah. It's like easy mode is right there.
They give you a number for local special ed.
But this is what Andrew Malanta is in the chat. He said, yeah, he goes, he probably missed the hacking ability. No fucking shit. The whole point is I want to go back and do, because there's like, I looked and there's like an electrical puzzle or something you have to do to shut everything down. Great, but it won't let me go back. It's like I go up the ice, and the ice goes, haha, you got to slide back up like a dick face. And it's like, and I go, and
There's a really sensual way to talk about Star Wars.
I mean,
this is it.
I mean, have you seen? Did you ever watch the Star Wars, the South Park episode about Captain Hindsight? Did you ever see that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's essentially his superpower is to come in and go like for example, he was talking about the Valdez oil spill. He's like, wow, you shouldn't have probably drilled off the coast, and maybe you should have had that safeguard over there. Yeah. I feel like going Captain Hindsight on you and be like,
home early enough to catch you live. Working in morning radio means I usually miss out, but I have people like you in the digital space to thank for inspiring me to be a broadcaster in the first place. Much love to all of you glorious fools.
Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
Ed, listen to me. People give me advice, and none of this advice is working.
Oh, well, I was.
Someone said, "Did you take the elevator back?" The elevator's nowhere to be seen on where I am right now. Okay, do you understand this? When you go by and you go for a swim, at this point, I'm just swimming to get a fucking tan. Okay, because that's all you can do. I've beaten every scumbag villain or a big stupid shitting monsters and dumb stormtroopers are just laying there with their carcasses on, and then I go to this other side, and guess what? You know what it says? It goes, power needs to be on for the bridge to work. Well, where is the motherfucking power? Because it's nowhere to be seen, okay? And then when I go back to fix it, it's nowhere to be seen. You want me to stream it? Why, you want to see blood vessels pop through my fucking head and dance around like shitty little elves trying to make gifts?
So here's my question. Go ahead, Kate.
No, you go. You were still
here's my
second.
question. Did you ever play RPGs back in the day?
Yes, Night of the Old Republic, one of my
So
favorite.
my point is, did you not ever do a multiple save? You're like, I'm about to walk in and have a major decision. Let me go ahead and make another save.
I don't think you can do it with this game.
It doesn't allow for multiple saves.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Because do you know?
There's spots where you can meditate and like replenish your health and like gain, but like they're very sparing throughout the game.
But are they save slots or are they just like your game is your game is your game?
I mean, like you go to it and once you meditate.
No, I'm not saying like a meditation spot. I'm saying like if you're playing an RPG, they're like pick a slot to save your game in. I'm saying can you not do a branch off save? Like you know what I'm saying?
Normally, people give me advice in video games that I take. And I say, you're right.
Yeah.
I did this wrong.
Yeah.
This is all shit that I have done. For example.
Done everything.
Everything. Someone says, don't you use the map? Okay, didn't do that.
All right, well, this conversation's over.
Wow.
But
I believe that's called a mic drop.
McClunky.
All that does though is just prove why I got to the place in the first place that I'm at. It doesn't solve the problem of that I'm fucked and can't move anywhere. So then someone said, watch a YouTube video. I've done that a billion times over.
Literally the first
all it shows me is like, hey, if you get past this electrical thing, this is a slide you can do. Yeah, but I can't get past the motherfucking electrical field. So
Okay.
F this game right in the ass.
Yo, I'm gonna be so scared.
I really like the game though.
I have a question. What happened before the ice slide? Because I'm probably gonna start this on Christmas.
No, it's like you get at this point like after you got to do like this, you got to push these fucking balls around and like it's like these spheres.
Sure.
And you push them, and once you do, then you go up the elevator and you get through, and then you got to run back to your ship.
Okay.
At that point, so I'm like, okay, I'm running back to my ship. I get to this, everything's possible. I was like, oh look, a lake. I'm swimming like an asshole, and then I'm doing all this stuff, and then that's when if I miss something. That's what I'm saying that the game shouldn't let you do. It shouldn't let you miss it. If I had to shut off some kind of electrical thing, don't let me go into the lake until I do it.
It must be there somewhere. But all I was going to say was I wanted to know this. So when I start pushing spheres, I go, oh, I'm not going to be that asshole stuck in a lake. Let me make sure I covered everything before I got there.
It is tough though because like you'll do the whole planet and all these puzzles, and then it's hard to get back to your ship because like you kind of just removed all the puzzles that got you there.
It's like go to Kashyyyk.
And there's no like quick travel. You have to do everything
you gotta go all the way
again and
back.
backwards.
Like an asshole face.
That sucks.
So I don't know.
Somebody said just change the difficulty.
I did that. I did all of it. It has nothing to do with the difficulty. I'm
Go
telling
full
you,
Sith
this
now.
game-
That's what it sounds like.
I'm there, my friend. I got there with the Brussels sprouts. All right,
I just fueled your anchor, huh? Yes,
sure did.
Use your anchor.
Did I shut down? I'm gonna get to Streamlabs here. I'm gonna get some questions. We're gonna go to
I
Streamlabs.
also love you do this. I feel like all the time when you're like, tell me in the chat what you think, and then you just annihilate everyone.
Every fan is crying right now.
All I said was give me some examples of things that I might not have tried. And I literally started off this video with, well, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Try a video on YouTube. It's like when I went into Subway that time. Remember, I go to Subway. I looked at the lady and I said, I want a foot-long tuna sandwich, no cheese, on wheat. And she goes, what? She goes, what kind of sandwich? I said, tuna. She goes, do you want cheese on that? No.
How long you want it? You want a 6-inch or foot long?
What kind of bread? wheat. And I
well, to be fair, this isn't like a New York deli we're talking about. It's
Subway. But
RBD, did you just call Subway the short school bus?
Well, that's what I said. I didn't understand.
When we had the issues, like, oh, did you check the sound? It's
Well,
like,
right.
oh, yeah, thanks.
Empty your cache.
Hey, yo, the frame rate's not working.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's unfucking.
Did you try the bit rate? The bit rate.
Unbelievable. Yeah. All right.
goes.
Nice. Okay.
I know.
Nothing makes
We
me
love
happy.
y'all. We love y'all. Just I hope you know we love you.
You're part of it. You're part of it.
we
You're
love
on this show. If you're on this show, you're gonna get razzed just like everybody else.
Because you're in this room with us.
Yeah, that's right.
true.
Producers of the show.
No one is safe.
Of course.
If you come into this room, you are not safe.
I did have
Welcome to the-
I did have breakfast. Frank, suck it. All right, let's see.
This is going well.
We love you.
Yes, we do.
Good Monday. Good
All right, here we
Monday.
go.
The holidays.
Yep.
It's the most
Wonderful time with beer. I need some beer. All right.
Kristian will yell at you if you do what he asks you to do. Like tell him how to get to Planet Voodoo. I don't know.
Planet Voodoo.
That singing voice is the same as 37 cats dying at the same time.
Oh,
But
37 is
you were
so
doing
specific.
it. But you were doing that bad singing
No,
voice on
that's
purpose.
basically how I sing.
That's not true. All right, here we go. Ben Robrain, what does he say? I would have lost it if Goldblum voiced Zero. Also, the hissing got old. We're talking about Mandalorian. So
yeah,
Mandalorian, the last episode.
Loved
As
chapter
did I.
6.
As did I.
Loved it. I feel like it might even bump. So number 3 is still my favorite. Chapter 3 is still my favorite. Chapter 4 can go swim
Scratch.
across a lake,
Okay.
as far as I'm
you
concerned.
don't like chapter 4?
I didn't like chapter 4.
You didn't like 5. Oh, you 4 you
I didn't
didn't
like 4, I
Right,
didn't like 5
okay.
either.
Yeah, 5's my least favorite.
But I gotta tell you, so I was like 3-2-1. Now I think I might be 3-6-2-1. Ooh,
I'm
controversial.
That's how I am.
That's a good rank.
That's me
Ooh,
too.
Yeah,
That's me too.
I loved 6.
Yeah.
Dickie watched 6 with me.
Did you
and
love
he was like, "It's a good show."
I loved it.
It's a good show.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, yeah, there was some cartoony stuff. You watched the ending. You hadn't watched the ending when we talked about it on Friday.
I thought it was a great ending. Yeah. I still don't like the I don't mind the male Twi'lek. He's fine.
Okay.
I hated the female Twi'lek
Yeah.
because
a lot of people had
opposite.
problems with her.
No,
Yeah.
which-
Opposite?
I'm because she's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was.
The wildling
and
actress.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, and she's great.
She's in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She was great.
Who's she in Harry
She's
Potter?
one of Sirius's peeps that fight with her. She's
She's
in
a
one of them.
Tonks, I think.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with her as an actress.
No, but I'm saying like I liked a lot of her stuff, but exactly what the chat said, like the hissing got old.
Oh,
the
yeah.
male Twi'lek was terrible for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like as soon as he got out of the cell, I literally said yeesh. Like as I was
But
watching it.
but it almost turned me off to the episode because every 2 seconds she's like, "I'm a vampire." Like I'm like, "Yo, stop."
But that's also the director's fault.
I agree.
It's more so than not, it's. I think it's mostly the director's fault.
I completely agree.
I did when I was doing my watch along, which is available now, by the way. But when I did my watch along, I said stop hissing. I was like, I almost wanted to get a shirt that said stop hissing. It's not necessary. I liked her, but that got. It's like she'd walk by a cell and go. It's like, what
Jesus,
the fuck are we doing,
bro? You
Wow,
just
that was
sprayed
some mist right there.
Yeah, imagine how they felt.
Okay, what'd you think of Bill Burr?
I did not like that they dressed him like a cop from The Wire. I felt like everything about that felt like Star Wars, but he was. I mean, I know he had like the cool gun, but like he did not feel out of place for me. But I felt like costumes.
Yeah, like how Roka was saying, like, oh, what's his Boston accent? Meanwhile, the droid is from New
Yeah.
Zealand, but that
Everybody-
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
everybody's English.
But we argued that already. I was like,
Yeah,
"Are
we
you
did.
fucking kidding me? It's
Yeah.
space.
I
There
know.
could be a
Space.
whole planet of
I find-
Bostonians, which is
I want to go to
terrifying.
Space Boston. I want to go to
that
Boston
sounds
system.
terrifying.
I'm okay with people complaining because I've certainly done it as far as like when sometimes maybe we didn't need that particular character to speak basic or English,
Yes.
or like
The
to
first
maybe have
episode,
have
that guy,
subtitles
yeah.
or something, or even maybe have a droid be that one lady in
Yeah.
that episode you didn't like.
Yeah.
But the accents thing that can be from anywhere. I mean, that's any planet.
Accents,
could
yeah,
be.
I agree, but there's a
really,
sensibility. I feel like whereas it's different. Like Bill Burr's sensibility felt like Star Wars to me.
Yeah,
his
me
accent,
too.
His accent definitely felt like.
I felt he was more.
Boston,
You
but-
can tell that what they were trying to do with Jake Carnivale in that one episode was trying to make him like the Han Solo type, even sitting him in that seat. Bill Burr came off to me more so than that type of character that we've seen in Star Wars before. Than when they try to do that generic version of what Jake Carnivale was doing, because he was I don't. That's the only thing I've ever seen him. He was terrible in the episode. He was terrible.
Who was
Come
he?
on, Mando. What are we doing now, Mando?
Oh yeah,
it was
yeah,
awful.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
awful.
and Bill Burr had the best line when he was like, "Oh, I was a sharpshooter for the Empire." He's like, "That doesn't mean much." He's like, "I wasn't a stormtrooper."
That was hilarious.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was
I wish he
hilarious.
would have gone full
Yeah.
Boston. Like, I wasn't a fucking stormtrooper.
I also I feel like my least favorite actress or whatever, the cameo or whatever, is that waitress
Yeah.
in episode.
That's what I mean. That
whatever
should have been a droid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But it wasn't that she had an accent. It was just like her sensibility was so 2019. Oh, thanks for the tip, guy.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No,
Right.
I'd love to
So
help.
that's,
Like,
again,
whatever
that's
it was.
direct,
I was
that's
like,
directing also.
"Ugh,
Because
what's
because
happening?"
I would have been okay with like a droid coming up and doing that thing too. It's
Totally.
I was going to spend this 20 on my sister's Christmas present, but I like you guys
Damn.
better. I just started a new office job that lets us listen to our phones, and thanks to you, I'm the weird new guy that randomly cracks up all the time in his cubicle.
I like that.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Nice,
Congrats
man.
on that job.
I know.
Yeah.
See, this is
Best holiday present.
First-
Yeah.
I'm going to give a double clap here because I'm also going to give some love to Hamish Murison, who says, Kristian, this game is known to have bugs and glitches. Thank you for understanding that this is not my fault.
Christian's like,
that-
if anybody in the chat room wants to
Agrees
just
with me.
validate
Yes,
that
yes.
there's a glitch,
Bro,
Yes.
what's
I
gonna be
will
so
like that.
What's gonna be so funny is that like they're gonna do an update on Christmas Day, and it's literally gonna be like press this button and destroy the field. Like he's literally just be in the pool, just press the button in the
what's
pool.
going to happen is as soon as this show's over and I have some time later on, I'm going to figure it out that I did something stupid.
Is it EA who did this? EA is
yes.
behind it? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're usually known for making terrible
Fucked up.
games.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yo, roasting Monday. That might have to be a new tradition.
All right, keep the super chats coming in. Streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. We will be getting to a lot of these news stories here today. Obviously, the box office was a big thing for those Star Wars fans. Dr. Aphra apparently is going to be the next TV series, potentially rumored. But not only is it going to be potentially the next series, there's certain reports say that they've already started filming the series. So we'll talk about that in just a bit. The Top Gun trailer came out. So that's all stories that we're going to talk about for sure. But I'm going over to Streamlabs. Keep the Schmoebot going. Ben Robrand, he had said that exiled? Oh, fine. Exiled Garlic said, super subtle thing, I guess, but I love the motion of the droid. I appreciate how he doesn't move like C-3PO, but more like a droid modified to a bounty hunter, more human-like in the last episode for sure. And then I just realized something, guys. I'm reading the episode, the wrong things. This is from Mandalorian. 12:15. This is a good one. Hey, guys, I love the show. Who do you think will be the one to say I've got a bad feeling about this in The Rise of Skywalker? That's a good one.
Oh,
Who's going to be the one to say it? I think Ray's going to say it this time around.
I do too.
Yeah, I think Ray will say it.
Did John Boyega say it yet? Finn?
I don't know if
Didn't he say it in
did he say it in the first one? He might have said
I
it in
think Han Solo said in the Force Awakens.
Did he? Okay. So you say Finn.
I think maybe Finn.
I just rewatched Force Awakens. That's such a good fucking
What
movie.
did you just say?
It's so good.
It's so
It moves
good.
so
like
fast.
it. I
It's so
screamed.
perfectly paced.
Screamed
Yeah.
when Han Solo and Chewie came in.
Where do you stand with The Last Jedi? Did you like it?
I need to watch it again.
You should watch it before tomorrow.
I know that literally that's why I was like I need to watch 7 and 8 again before 9. So
It's on Netflix now. too.
tonight or last night we did. Force
Yeah, it'll be on
Awakens.
Netflix until
Well, I've got Disney.
like 2 more weeks.
I got Disney
Yeah.
Plus. So.
Yeah. Well, it's not on Disney Plus.
Last Jedi is.
It did just is it now?
No?
No.
I swear to God, we looked last night.
It's possible because at one point it was supposed to hit at the end of December, so it might be on there. But as of like last week, it wasn't. But
Okay,
it
so
might be on there now.
where do I watch it tonight?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, it's either on Netflix or
It's
Disney
definitely
Plus.
still on
Okay.
Netflix.
Oh look, Winston's gonna look for me.
What do you think?
Just keep the camera off.
What-
Sorry.
About
Who's
what?
gonna
Who's
say?
gonna say it? Did you say?
I'm gonna go.
Get
I'm
Ken
gonna go.
Napzik on the show. I feel like hell hate the Schmoebot,
Oh yeah.
which will be fun to see.
Oh, I bet you it's one of the reasons why he doesn't come on the show. He hates the Schmoebot. He's very traditional radio. He knows about the Schmoebot. It probably wants nothing to do with it. But I'm going to try to get him. I tried to get him last week, but then I realized I asked him on Jedi Council Day. So,
So one, it's coming to Disney Plus December 26th.
Oh, okay.
So you
My
can
bad.
you can watch.
I saw the
you can watch a
title.
trailer. That's why.
Oh, that's
okay.
why. Thank you. Okay.
And 3PO. I don't think 3PO is gonna make it through the
going.
movie. And that was the
He's
whole
gonna
like.
eat shit?
I think the whole like I'm looking at my friends for the last time.
Yeah.
Like I think that he's probably gonna say it.
Interesting.
Give him a little out.
What'd you say there?
I'm betting the house that Poe says it for sure. If Poe says it, Like I feel like they're really like putting him forward, like with the comedy stuff.
yeah.
Poe's gonna say it.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
The
do me
comedy
a
stuff
favor?
is so good in Force Awakens.
I didn't realize
Sorry.
you probably didn't hear this. And did you listen to the show on Friday? Or
Please.
Yeah,
did you hear your rap song?
It was great.
Did you hear the rap song?
No.
Can you hit
Please.
the top? Hit that top.
top right.
Top right. You gotta play this again.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey.
Who made this?
Matthew Reed.
Matthew Reed. You haven't heard this yet. Huh? Listen to the lyrics.
I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my rate. Best believe you can't eat on my plate. Nah, best believe I got thoughts. Bonnie and the Schmoebot, I jump on the chin, I'm wildin' like Kate. I'm teaching my son, yeah, but going on dates. I'm taking your money to buy me some chips. I'm stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch. Are you sick of no characters? Streamlabs for your questions. Ben in the corner went body around. I know he be hiding directions. Think I'm back here savage and Kate always wildin' and Kristian the spot on impressions. And if Winston or Bateman or Kristian show up, then that be one hell of a blessing. If we need some pics on the wall, then Brick gets a call. Just kidding, you funny too. But I got your girl on my slong. I can't stay too long. I gotta go watch the crew. Gallery 3 on the cameras. We do not fuck with no amateurs. Y'all better make me a manager. I might just fly down from Canada. I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my rate. Best believe you can't eat on my plate. Nah, best believe I got thoughts. Bonnie and the Schmoebot, I jump on the chin, I'm wildin' like Kate. I'm teaching my son, yeah, but going on dates. I'm taking your money to buy me some chips. I'm stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch. Woo!
It's good
God,
stuff.
this shit is such on fire.
I know, I love it.
Jesus.
I know. I normally it's funny because I was going. Someone said, "A Star Killer goes and there's only everyone else is giving this like complete like praise and fire signs, everything." And Star Killer goes, "What the fuck is this shit?" And I go, "Fuck off, Star Killer. This is great."
Yeah, I made a
Suck
little
it, pal.
Fortnite video, like because they had lightsabers and stuff with Star Wars, and I made a Fortnite video, put the song behind it because it's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
This is if I get
So
drafted,
good.
this is definitely my intro music.
has to be.
Like it's no question.
I almost
like
decided
that. What's
to
that
steal
weird?
it.
What's
and
that?
use it as mine.
Say something again. Sounds like you're performing at the.
Is it my mic?
Good day, SEN Live. Kristian, here's a tip
You'll
about
be a pain.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, Anthony.
Get good.
It's good.
On Friday.
Oh, I didn't hear
Catching
the
up
rest
on the
of it.
last 2 episodes has brightened my day.
Aw.
Good to see after firing everyone you've rehired them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Winston,
Anthony, I'm
Winston-
sorry for that.
Yeah, me too. But thank you. And you're right. I just need to get better.
You
at
didn't
it.
hear he had a funeral.
You know, I
on
heard.
Friday.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
not you. He was
I
saying
heard. I heard what this.
Okay.
Happened?
he had a funeral on Friday. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
but
But
you didn't say it.
Kristian-
You stuttered. Maybe you should sing it.
Kristian, suck my
No, you can't say it. Oh wait, on this show you can. You can.
vulva.
Is that a car? Welcome to the
It's a
car, ladies and gentlemen. You're right, though. I
Just
got to get better.
because you're mad that you're
thought that
not
was the
good at
Schmoebot.
anything.
What was really good was that last week, Winston and I did a show by ourselves.
Yes.
And inside of that show, I realized this.
Yeah.
I don't need you people to engineer.
Yeah.
I don't need you to say dumb things.
Uh-huh.
And I don't need you to be there.
Just you and
I just
Winston.
need me
I
and
get
Winston.
all of
That's
your
all I need.
money.
Yeah.
All of it.
What was so
I'll buy my own
I know,
motherfucking
yeah.
present, Kate.
What was so funny is I
Wow.
said, but we were talking, we were goofing about this, and then I said, well, maybe that's true except RB3. I said RB3.
RB3 could say.
Wow, David Michael Frank in a position of power right now.
David's a
Maybe-
ninja.
Yeah, I was gonna
David's
say,
a ninja.
Maybe Christian's
Speaking of ninja,
camera goes black.
look at
I have
this.
to keep it calm in here. Whenever
know.
I know.
It's
I know.
crazy.
I got a fart ninja for Christmas, everybody.
Well, that's
Wait,
one
can
of
we
the
open
things you
these?
got.
Can we open these?
Yeah, so thank
Yeah,
you.
of course you can.
Kate got
I
me
mean,
a fart
some of
ninja.
them-
So what is that exactly?
That's cool.
Oh.
Literally. No, you don't even have to do that. I was walking around the Target with this, and then he goes, "Fart ninja."
Fucking broken.
It's not broken. You did like whenever anybody walks by it.
I'll look at it, farts. Okay, what else is this?
That's wild.
I'm actually going to see. I
Oh, is
will
this for
get.
Sadie?
No, it's for you.
Oh.
Let's see.
I don't know if you'll understand what it is.
Let me see.
Oh, I do know understand what it is.
That's your
that's
scent.
that's my cologne.
You
but
can
now-
never look
now-
up
now-
what that laundry detergent
But now-
costs.
this
You
is
will
laundry
make-
detergent.
You will make fun of me so much, but you can never look it
Yeah,
up.
that sounds like
I'm
some
sure
basic
That's because
shit.
you're the boss man.
Oh well, thank you so much.
I
This
love
is
it.
new.
welcome.
This is
Wait,
new.
wait, that-
That's
that-
his scent.
And that laundry. Let me see. Laundry detergent. I bet. Hold on.
So my clothes will smell like that now. It's amazing.
That's really good.
Like-
This is
so
definitely
much.
costs like $30 for this bottle.
Don't worry about it.
Damn.
Kristian
nice,
got the
though.
best thing.
Thank you so
Dave,
much.
RB3s is actually a serious one.
This one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at, oh my
wow.
God.
You know
Look
what-
at you.
You know what you could have done? You could have
Oh,
just
this
stolen
is
that.
love. Oh, this is love. Right
Wow.
here. Oh, this is so
If
good.
they
Yeah,
make
that's
it-
because I know you love it. The
Hey,
Watchmen.
I do love it. Thank
David
you.
Michael Frank. Well, everybody also got cards where I say nice things to you on them. So you don't have to read those now. David Michael Frank. This is.
It's got to be a microphone.
Some people got funny things. Some people got real things.
Seriously?
Poor Ben.
Oh, by the way, just
got 12
just,
big
I
bagels.
got the Jewish rap. You all get Jewish rapping?
No, you did it. You also got a Hanukkah card.
This is like Kwanzaa-esque stand.
Yeah, this is me trying to reuse shit.
And I'm stealing your bitch.
Oh, it's Costco. Wow,
It's
thanks.
Costco
I love-
shampoo for
honestly,
his beautiful hair.
I totally needed more, so thank you. I love this shampoo.
Good, nice.
Brett's getting
thank
a
you.
flannel, guys. And Winston, I actually, you know what's so funny, Winston? I actually do have a set of spices that it's like pumpkin latte spice, something else spice, and I was like, I can bring this for Winston, and then I was like, will he be offended?
No.
Okay,
I
you're
would've-
gonna
I
get
would've
that.
got it. I would have got the.
Oh, good. Okay,
This
good.
is for the people that I work with every day.
I like
and
it.
Ben got a dozen
dozen
bagels.
And I got a dozen bagels.
Do you have a salt
And-
bagel in there?
And
A salt
two-
bagel?
Salt
I don't
bagel.
know.
Throw me one.
a salt bagel.
Yeah.
It's a bagel that attacks people. And a salt
Not
bagel.
a salt bagel,
A
but that
salt-
is good.
and a salt
It's
bagel.
really good. Is there
You
salt
also
in
got
it? What the
also
hell is
got
that, a cheese bagel?
You also got 2 things of cream cheese.
Here's the
Oh.
question.
But you're gonna have
though.
to freeze those.
Here's the
'cause you're not
question
gonna
though:
eat those
did you
all.
steal them though? Because otherwise, it doesn't.
It doesn't really
for
work.
him. He
That's
doesn't
funny. That
pay
ended
for
up being.
things.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
how much is a dozen
Costs
bagels and
costs
2
more than
cream
this.
cheeses? I was like, oh, I know why Ben steals them now.
All right, listen to me. We're going to read the rest of these things. Toby Thrawn says, just read the Aphra rumor. I have not read the comic yet, but I just decided a few days ago to get myself the first part for Christmas. Since she's a super popular and the character story sounds great, I'd be excited if this actually came to Disney Plus Dreamcasting. Okay, listen, so let's get into this. Ben, give me a breakdown of what's going on with this potential story here. Now, Jason Ward over at Making Star Wars, I think was the one who first found this out and figured out that they might not, listen, this might not even be a show that's coming up. This show might have already started filming already, is what this story says. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Jason Ward comes out and says, a new Star Wars show is starting about now that no one even knows about. I'm hearing it's a Lucasfilm Marvel venture with both companies teaming up. And it's about Dr. Aphra, who's sort of this anti-hero. She plays both sides. She gets teamed up with Darth Vader. She's like this really scrappy, kind of just trying to make her way through the galaxy during the Empire. And it's looks like it's being written by Tony Gilroy, who helped did a few of the rewrites for Rogue One.
He's helping with some other stuff, too.
It could be a potential late 2020, early 2021. So that seems like they've already got this started filming, like it's for sure coming. And do you guys know the character? I know you know the character,
Yeah.
Kristian. I love this character. I've read a few of her comics. I'd be very excited to see this character come to life. But again, it seems like it'd be another serialized story. I'd be a little worried about
This
that.
one is more built for the. You're talking about more episodic, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that this. What I was saying before is they can't, like, Mandalorian right now seems very just episodic. It's like adventure of the week type stuff. Now, you could potentially get fans on board with that. They were like, okay, that's just what this show is. Like you were saying, it was a Samurai Jack type style, like that type of thing. Just let it play. You can't do that with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan can't be adventure of the week. It's got to be a full-fledged story of what's happening. I think Mandalorian season 2 needs to be that. And I don't think Cassian could do that. I want to know more about the Empire. I want to know more about like the building of the rebellion. This show, I think, out of all of them, is built the most for potential episodic television. Because if you don't know, the actual the comic was that she was picked up by Vader and almost became not an apprentice, but he worked with her. She's got these 2 droids that are like, it's like if you look at the evil version of R2 and C-3PO, that's what she's got, and they're awesome. They're great. They're very, for Knights of the Old Republic fans, very similar to like HK 47.
Nice.
So it has it's got that type of thing. It's a little darker for sure. The question is, and I think the reason why I buy this, not only because Making Star Wars is pretty accurate with their scoops, I also say the addition of making it with Marvel, which has a very strong presence on already with the series that they're doing. This is a way to bring new canon into the forefront. Now, the question is, do you retell some of the stories? Because not everybody knows the character of Dr. Aphra. Do you have to set her up again?
I think you do.
I think you do, but I think you adapt the comics. I think you adapt the comics, but the difference is from adapting comics, in Marvel and adapting comics from Star Wars is that you're fucking with canon. Now, it's their right, and they would say, well, we're just going to rechange that for the purpose of television. But it just gets a little muddled. How do you feel about this series, Winston?
I mean, I have never read anything about Dr. Aphra, but it sounds like a really interesting character, and I think that there's nothing wrong with I mean, you did that with Rogue One. Yeah. You were like, this is actually what was happening on the side over here. It's the same thing. You could have Darth come in because, like, sure, the main thing we're focusing on in the movies is Darth Vader attempting to crush the rebellion and to get Luke to come be the new apprentice for the Emperor, right? There's nothing to say that in that time, you know, around his lunch period, he was kicking it with the doctor being like, I need you to go do X,
I don't mean
Y,
that,
Z.
though. I mean more so of retooling stuff that's already been set up in those comics. Because those comics are already canon. So if you start changing up things there, it's like, okay, wait a minute. So then that just goes back to my previous point.
Yeah.
If you... For people who got rewarded thinking, oh, this is what really happened during those comics. Like, well, no, it didn't. This in the TV show is what happened. So you're basically
I see what you're saying.
You're setting a precedent saying that TV and film is, and I understandably, more important than comics, but then you're starting to say the stuff that you're reading at comics could be changed at a drop of a hat. It's not saying that they can do that. They're going to do that.
Yeah,
but I just don't know how they're going to shoot it.
I would make the argument honestly because I didn't like the fact that that Disney decided to be like everything you ever read ever doesn't count anymore. So I honestly. And it's weird to do this, but it's just because I'm such a comic fan. I think of all the books, honestly, similar to the way that we look at comics. It's like another world. It's another universe type situation where it's like a multiverse kind of thing. So that's fine. If they really want to do that, then
but that's the way you look at it. It's not official. Officially, it does all connect.
Well, and I get that, but like, let's be honest. I'm not going to let Disney tell me that those stories don't mean shit. Fuck you. Yes, they do. They do.
So you think Chewie's dead by getting killed with the moon?
In a different universe. And I'm okay with that.
But to be fair to them, that's what they did say. They said you can still love those stories, everything. It's the timeline that we're talking about. These are the stories that link up to that timeline.
Which is fine. So then the timeline for Dr. Aphra in TV and films is the TV and film
if that's the way they go. They could very well keep to everything that they're
for
doing.
sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like someone trying to invalidate something that I put
that's
close
fair.
to my, you know what I mean?
Does this interest you at all? Because you don't know the character itself.
I don't. I actually am interested more in the relationship of how so basically George Lucas comes up with the first 3 Star Wars, right? Yeah. When do the comics come out?
Well,
and who had permission and who
the novelization of the episode 4 came out right around the same time. They did novelizations
I am subscribed at the $10 Patreon, and I wish that I could afford to donate more.
That's enough.
Brett, Kate, and Winston, you make me cry laughing every day.
I'll leave now.
And Ben, don't listen to me. Haters, you may be a complete and total criminal, but me and Bonnie still love you.
Hey, Ben, that's some good words, man.
Yeah, you can hear it. It was nice. It was
Bonnie did speak highly of you when she was here on Friday.
Yeah, she did.
Did she say anything about me? Like, is she excited to see me again?
She's excited to see. She made sure we moved stuff around because she wanted to be on the show with you.
Well,
she's coming on. So Bonnie, that's actually reminds me. So. We're looking again. Josh Robert Thompson, we think he's coming in on Thursday. Ben Bateman will be here. Possibly Jared Haben, talking to him also. Friday is just going to be a show with Bonnie and myself. We're doing an experiment show. But on Wednesday, it'll be Brett, you, me, and Bonnie. That'll be the show on.
Somebody's getting pregnant.
Okay, Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Thursday's me, you, Ben Bateman, potentially Josh Robert Thompson or Jared Haben. So that's cool. It's a good crew so far.
So one more thing about Dr. Aphra before we move on to, it's worth shouting out. She's also one of the few out queer characters.
Yes.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah, it's good salutes on that.
Right, which is probably another thing that they will or may not explore. It's just, the thing is, it's a matter of how she's represented in general, because she's a badass, but she's also she goes underneath the radar a lot of things. She's not just a full like fighter, but she by the way she interacts with Leia at points. There's a lot of from the time period it's in between 4 and 5. So that's another thing. Maybe this takes place in between 5 and 6, and she's already an established character. We learn more about her.
I was gonna say, this is the first time we're seeing like a Star Wars adapting its own property. Maybe it does do something more of the sequel route, like akin to like a Watchmen, where like the comics are the story, like the foundation, and then this is like a complete jump off.
Yep.
Well, that's what I was asking about the comics. So so you're saying immediately the New Hope was getting novelized, and
so that got novelized. So But after Return
So
of the
like
Jedi,
Phantom Menace, was Phantom Menace based on like when they went back and did when the prequels were getting made, was that based on comics that already existed?
No. So the way there's things called new canon or canon now, which everything apparently that you read that comes out now fits into the overall timeline that you're watching in movies and TV.
Okay. So it's technically movie and TVs that dictate.
Yeah, of course, but there are other sometimes there's stories that are made, like for example, Dr. Aphra was a comic first, so this is the first one that's really, if it's indeed the case, then it's the first one that's going to be adapted from new canon material, which would be very exciting. But there's also stuff called Legends, and that's the stuff that Winston's talking about, and some of my favorite stuff. Like there was right after Return of the Jedi, there was no Star Wars that was supposed to come out at all, so. We had the Thrawn books that came out, and Timothy Zahn wrote 3 books, and everybody who read those, that was like kind of the new trilogy for everybody, but it was based off George Lucas's characters, but not his. So he never really, from what you hear, he appreciated it, but never considered them canon to his stories. Like there's a character of Mara Jade inside of that everyone loved. George Lucas hates Mara Jade. That's on record for sure. There's other things that happen. Like I said, Chewie gets killed by a moon in one of these. It didn't connect to anything. There's just a lot of fun stories, and they were pumping them out. When Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, and Disney, they made an announcement in 2012 that everything that they made would connect in the canon. That's why I have an issue with it sometimes when it's like these certain things that are not rewarded. And then we made this point on Dark Side, Light Side last 2 weeks ago. It's like, you can't pick and choose, and they do that a lot with Lucasfilm. They'll say like, well,
this thing is this canon, this thing is that
the
canon.
films. There's something that happens in the film. Like for example, in the Force Awakens novel, because it's based off the script, Poe and Rey have a conversation and they talk. And then people are like, well, wait a minute, is that canon or not? And Pablo Hidalgo's like, well, if it happens in the film part of it is canon, everything else is like, that's too confusing, man. It's either canon or it's not canon. It's this whole...
And that to me is my other point of just like, I don't take anything that they say that seriously, because I'm just like, again... Like, whether you have the expanded or whatever, I know people are thirsting for that. It's one of the biggest things as like a huge Zelda fan, that there's the constant debate of like, what is the proper timeline? And they've essentially been like, there's 3 timelines, and this is how this... So I'm not going to let them in. Like, for example, for me, the big one was the Young Jedi series. So like the Jedi Academy with the Han and instead of Kylo.
I could listen to Kate ask Star Wars questions all day. Huge nerd, and it's hard for me to find people to talk to about the things I enjoy.
Thank you, Anthony.
Love you, Kate.
Thank you,
But
Anthony.
for the love of God, please don't sing again.
Anthony Nugent.
I thought you were going to say Anthony
really
and
love Australia.
All right, listen, let's go.
You guys did miss that, but it was just me and Kristian. I definitely started singing Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, it was good.
I finally figured out the whole Eminem and Nick Cannon beat.
Oh, yeah.
What it is?
my
What is it
God,
for real?
yeah.
That's what we talked
He
about.
was on a Fat Joe track.
record. I heard the Fat Joe record. Oh my God.
What did he say?
Eminem annihilated him.
Did he? What did he say? Was this recently or back in the day? So Eminem went after him.
Eminem went
didn't realize
after him and just
Destroyed him.
annihilated him.
Yeah, but what do you expect? You got to be, if you're Nick Cannon at that point, you're bracing for the hit. You're only doing it to get exposure at that point.
Yes.
But you're going to take the hit. You know Eminem's going to roast you a new asshole.
Well, no, this is before Nick started. So Eminem
he
started
did it first.
He started it.
Oh, then Nick Cannon tried to come back.
He tried to come back and it just failed.
Didn't Eminem used to date Mariah?
Well,
that's
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
thing.
We don't know what it is.
But that's the whole thing, though.
Because he has that song.
Well, but Mariah has a bunch where being like, who are you again? Like, and then there's another one that was like upset. There was one about obsessed because she was
obsessed.
Yeah, it's a
Why
whole
are you
music
so
video.
obsessed with
Yeah.
me?
that was about Eminem.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no.
I mean, these lyrics are crazy. I don't know if we need, I don't know if we
Yes.
can read these on air.
I would love you to
Can you
read
try?
them.
Can you try to rhyme them?
Try and rhyme. I'll try.
Here we go.
He said, "Word to the Terror Squad, Joe. This is all puns aside, though. I know I'm so bad. I can't even. That guy just got it right.
I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note.
There you go.
Come on, you do it, Winston.
But the other dudes whip that pussy.
No, you gotta use a microphone. What, you new to this?
But I gotta
Need my
see
glasses?
it. Hold on.
Come on, guys.
But the other dudes whipped that pussy, got him neutered. Tried to tell him that his chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked, fool. Quit. You ain't gonna do shit. I let her chop my balls off too before I lost to you, Nick. I should quit watching news clips. Yeah, my balls are too big. I should be talking pool because I got scratches on my pocket fall when I'm taking shots at you. I mean, that's all right. That's all right.
Come on.
That's all right. So this whole beef is two old men yelling at clouds.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
about an ex.
Yeah.
You know,
About an ex,
really
yeah.
unfortunate situation.
I really
She's
want
sitting
Mariah-
back just with her arms.
Yeah.
I want her to put out a song.
That's how they fight these days.
That
It used to be back in the day, like people just scrap in the middle of a high school hallway. Now they're like dissing each other, and us assholes are talking about it. Okay.
Twitter fingers, you know.
All right, this is M9. I sent you guys a drawing of the Schmoebot that I did. I hope you like it.
saw.
Have
It
a
was
great
dope.
show. Where was that?
We'll
That's
show
right
it to you
here.
right here.
Yeah, let
It's,
me
it's
see it.
dope.
Oh, that's the Schmoebot? Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's really good.
It's
She
really
looks
good,
like an
right?
astronaut from Apollo
Can we
11.
tweet that out, David?
It's tweeted. We can retweet it.
Oh yeah, let's
They tweeted it at us.
Who
We can
tweeted
retweet
it? Yeah,
Hi.
let's post it from the actual account. Let's do that. Thank you
Hey,
for that.
Kristian.
I really thought that was the Schmoebot.
I know. I keep trying to see if I can trick you.
Bonnie did it last week. Bonnie
Did she?
tricked us. Yeah, for sure.
Pretty well.
Yeah. It was funny because she's got a crush on Bonnie, and Bonnie has her Instagram thing on. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Let me send this. And I sent you a picture of Bonnie, like from like a Maxim shoot or something.
Oh, my
And I
God.
could hear Kate like, yeah, you want to see it? I'll show you later. It's really good. Go to
Everybody should see this.
Go to Bonnie's Instagram. Go to Bonnie's Instagram and find it. You guys should all follow her, by the way.
Kristian's like, I get your crush now.
Yeah, I understand it. It makes sense. Okay, so well, thank you for that wonderful drawing of the Schmoebot. Joel Godina. Since spoilers for the spectacular are lifted, they are not lifted. I finally get to make fun. No, you can't. I can't read that whole thing because they're not lifted until tomorrow. So the spoilers for spectacular lift tomorrow. That when we run the actual show tomorrow here at 10 a.m. So I can't read spoilers.
That's the problem is that there's a few of the other shows that like talk about the show that have started talking about it,
which is okay because next year I'm listening and surveying kind of the land. What we're gonna do next season, whether you like it or not, we have to run this thing like a sport. So next season, what we're gonna do is when the actual episode drops in the Facebook group, we're gonna say that there's a 24-hour. There's a 24-hour spoiler ban to give people an opportunity to, and we're not going to police people on social media. You want to? It's the same way you're watching a UFC fight and you tweet out, guess who won? That's the thing. So that's the first thing. As far as big events go, 24 hours, and it's still for the pay-per-view and everything too. I can't. The whole point is we have to put on a full-on production.
No,
it costs a
of course.
lot of freaking money to do that event,
course.
and so we kept it up for a week, and we'll probably do the same thing. We'll keep it up for a week. It's the same reason. You can't get WrestleMania free ever.
But you know what? You know what's also really interesting about me that when people make that argument that I think is kind of silly, like you said, like a sport. Like if I don't want to know the score the Cowboys
Avoid it.
game, then I literally delete the ESPN app and I just stay off the internet till I can go home and watch it. So it's kind of the same thing. Don't open up Facebook.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly.
I was trying to protect everybody, but we also and because it's also taken a lot away from a lot of these shows that try to talk about it. The competitors want to get excited about it and they want to talk about it. The hype dies down for it. So I can't do it. And it's like next year, especially for events and everything too. Like free for all will be 24 hours. You have a chance to watch. If not, you shut down your social media. So it's not our job to try to make sure that you don't watch the spoilers.
Also because it's the same way that like honestly if you were walking down the street and like the Lakers won, hey the Lakers won, like
I didn't watch it on my DVR.
It's fuck you, bro. What
The whole point is to make you
did the
buy, to
Lakers
have people
win?
buy. Lakers been winning.
So this is my favorite. Someone said WWE literally advised WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. Yeah, the subscribers are paying money. It's like it's free for new subscribers. It's free when you buy their
7-day free trial. Or
right.
some shit.
You're buying their thing. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's free when you buy it. It's like everything. That's the whole point. Is so that's.
Do you ever see yourself doing the Schmoedown streaming network?
I mean, I think that's what we kind of do on Patreon. Like Patreon, the $10 tier is the streaming service, you know. And so what we did $10. You get it. Any live event that we do, you get it automatically. Everything. We're going to do like 2 or 3 of them in next month, I think. So you get it right away, early access. $5 patrons got it like 3 or 4 days later, and then all patrons got it before it was released. Exactly. We'll do the same thing. And then the What If series that we're doing next year for exhibition will also be for $10 patrons first. And that'll be exclusive to patrons. So that's why we ask people if you want to go over to patreon.com/Schmoedown for sure. Check that out. Yes, exactly. Someone said the Schmoedown pay-per-view are free for $10 patrons. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, that made no sense, that comment. Unless that comment was, who cares? All right, but that's going to air tomorrow. It'll air tomorrow at 10 a.m. for everybody. So if you want to avoid spoilers, you still can get it if you want right now. The SchmoedownLive.com, or for all patrons have access to it right now. So if you sign up for $1 on the Patreon right now, you can get it now if you want to watch the full stream. And now Joel Godina again says, my power rankings. Yes, this is also spoiler stuff too. Joel, I'm going to come back to your stuff tomorrow because it's just a little spoiler heavy. Alden Diaz put in a Schmoebot. Joel Godina said, and since you're always talking about the Cowboys, this and Giants that, just remember the Eagles won the Super Bowl most recently. We run the East. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then you gave the wrong quarterback all the money while the quarterback that won you the Super Bowl is in Jacksonville.
Thank you. And on top of that, do you want a fucking cookie? Look at your losses this year. If you're such a good team, why are you struggling to pass us? I don't.
Welcome to Mad Mondays.
Come at me, bro. I don't give a fuck about
Hashtag we love you guys. Call him Dr.
Fuck the Eagles.
Call him Dr. Jones.
What was his name? Send his ass a bagel, man. That's what's up, bro.
Did you find a salt bagel in there or what?
No.
Yeah, give him a salty bagel, bro.
Salty bagel for your salty ass.
Unless you're going to wash his clothes in your perfume.
That's true. All right,
Don't take that's his Christmas gift.
Call him Dr. Jones, lady. Hey, guys, this is my first time catching this show live, but I normally watch the prior day's replay every morning. I discovered the Schmoedown during a rough time this year, and it helped me through. Just wanted to thank you for all you do. Happy holidays. Well, thank you, too. Thank you. I'm loving all the new people from SEN Live that are going over to the Schmoedown. I met a lot of people at the Spectacular that were just SEN Live fans and then discovered the Schmoedown, and they said, I didn't really know what it was about. I just saw trivia stuff and said, that's not for me, and then I tuned in hearing you guys talking about it, and now people are getting on board with it. So that's kind of
I was daydreaming. I was daydreaming about, I'm sorry, I just interrupted you.
No.
I was daydreaming about the Schmoedown, and I was thinking, I could compete in a TV division if you branched out.
I could too. I know the argument goes back and forth that it's way so vast.
No, I have the categories already.
But that's the thing. I was
sitcoms, dramas, premium networks. So like Showtime,
sitcoms,
animated, but
premium
still.
There's
but
also Inner Geekdom. That's a lot of shit to cover too.
Well, do sitcoms cover The Office and stuff that aren't?
Yes.
Shitcoms
100%.
But all you do is you have to, in that case, because it's so vast, you go all surface.
Right.
Unless you then want to go, this is the Office division, and then you could go deeper. But I said the exact same thing. I always watch more TV than movies, so I could kill in a TV division. But
it's something we've talked about. And now Alden Diaz says, look, Kristian, I know you don't really dig The Last Jedi, but at least it didn't have a scene with a motherfucking electrical gate blocking Luke's path. It's a good point.
Alden's the one that has a radio show. Alden, tell us where we can listen.
Yeah, please. He's right. This next one, now there are some accurate names that come into this before. That they make these, they customize them just to make sure that they get their voices heard, and sometimes they're not in good taste. Sometimes they nail the mark. This one nails the mark. It is Cowboys Suck. Given the passion shown today and how much I know about Kristian, I can safely venture in 5 years, Kristian will be saying, I've been busting my balls for 5 years on this motherfucking planet. You're right. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. You're right. See, that one is creative. I saw some stupid idiot the other day. He said something, and I'm like, come on. I was like, come on. I'm like, it's a low blow. It's not a low blow. It's the same joke. It's just like, it's lame. That's funny. That was a good way to do it.
Did you do it?
But that's new.
Ben's saying.
That's
Ben's saying it's the same joke, and then he points to the bagels I brought him.
But this is 3 weeks old. That's
what I'm saying.
We're talking about like a 6-month-old thing. It's like you gotta refresh. You gotta come in. My daughter yesterday is my daughter, and so I keep saying every time she goes, you know what? And I go, chicken butt, right? I say to her, and she is getting pissed about it right now, right?
You're cutting her off.
But not that. What she said to me was something I used to say to her all the time, and she brought it back. I haven't said to her in a long time, you're going to love this. And so she goes, she's like, Dad, stop saying it. She goes, don't say chicken butt. So yesterday I go to her, she goes, Dad, you know what? I go, chicken butt. She goes, Dad, stop being an open micer. She goes, open micers do the same bits over and over again when they're trying to work out stuff, and you're better than that. Look at Winston.
Where can I subscribe to your daughter's podcast?
I know, really.
Bro, when is your daughter going up to do her tight 10? That's fucking incredible.
It's true.
I had a thing with my son yesterday. We were trying to explain. We go to this church, this really sweet church, and and there's this there's a couple people there that are special, and my son is obsessed with this man named Lonray, and Lonray's a special guy, and he's really sweet, but we were trying to explain to my older son, because it's my older son starting to look at him like, why does he keep talking about IKEA Burbank? Like, why does he keep saying, Lonray kept saying, like, I go on vacation in April. I go on vacation in April. And I'll be like, oh, that's great. Where are you going to, but we'll just keep having that same conversation with him. So I explained to my son in the car ride home, I'm like, do you notice anything about Lonray? And he was like, yeah, sort of. And I was like, so sometimes people's brains work differently than ours. And they're still great people. I'm like, but that's like, Lonray's brain, it just works differently than ours. He's got an adult body, but his brain works differently. And it's, so he repeats himself a lot. And he was like, yeah, okay. And he I was like, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's, and the best thing you can do is you never have to point that out to them. You just listen to what they have to say because they want to be heard, and that's what you do. And he's like, okay. And then later I was saying to myself, I was like, okay, I have to remember, we had just met this couple. I was like, I have to remember their names. I was like, Brittany and Evan.
Thanks for asking, Kate. I work for WBGG Big 1059 here in Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Hey!
We're the classic rock station. I'm the morning show producer and also an on-air personality. Let me know when your next stand-up performance is. Would love to see it.
Hey,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, we'll do
I
it.
feel like I was just watching your stand-up right
Yeah,
now.
no.
it's
Well, I was
true.
going to say, so my son, basically I was repeating these. This was 5 minutes later after I've explained, Lonray repeats and that his brain works differently than I did. And so I'm repeating the names. I'm like, I have to remember their names. And I say it, and then the son goes, your brain works differently than mine. And I was like, what? He goes, you were just repeating yourself. And I was like, oh, no, okay. To be clear.
Yeah.
That is
So that's calling you
That's
special?
not-
okay, no, okay, so it's different. I was like, well, this was a big fail.
Shit happens.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a hilarious story. The Schmoebot totally fucked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You were building, and I was
building
like,
it,
yeah, I
and
know
then
where
you
she's
forgot.
going. And then it was like,
I was low-key like, damn, the Schmoebot. I'm hoping it was
Yeah,
I was like, please,
that's
Jesus,
part of
not
it.
right now. Just let her finish.
If I didn't talk so long,
No, it's
that's
true.
that's really my fault.
No, I'm not gonna. Don't do that.
Pookie715.
Ha!
Yeah.
Christian's thoughts on
over it.
Fallen Order are exactly how I feel. Fuck this game. Using the rest option to regain health while meditating causes the enemies to respawn. I don't like that. The enemies are why my health is shitty in the first place. this game constantly gives me the middle finger. I did not like that either. There's this one part you have to run up this thing. It's like, oh, you can refresh. Oh, cool. And then the same fuckers come back that I just killed. I'm like, oh man. So
I got a question. Is it an EXP based game? So as you kill them, do you get experience from it?
some of them, yeah. Some yes, you get force points and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mad annoying for sure, but I guess you could just think of
No,
a
you
way
can't
that,
keep. But it doesn't once you get it, it's like you can't keep fighting
oh,
the same
if you
dudes.
kill
and you build them
kill
to-
dude A and he respawns, you don't get more
No,
experience.
not every time.
Oh,
No,
that
it
sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Shashank. Hey, Kristian, did you know that you're on the home release of The Last Jedi? In the making of featurette, you appear a couple of times. Way to go! Yeah, I knew that from when they sent it out. It's a couple of when we were announcing I forget which show it was. It might have been Jedi Council. What is everyone? I think it was actually Schmoes. No, what is everyone's favorite movie or TV show, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K release, and why? Not for bad. I always say Inception.
That's good.
It's Inception.
I don't have.
Can you guys host the show for a quick second?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're fine.
yeah. How about for the next 2 years?
Hey, I'll take
See you, Christian.
For me, I would probably say the Boondocks. I don't know if
Yeah,
but
man.
because the episodes that never aired because
Yeah.
BET was like, fuck y'all, you're not gonna talk shit about us. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
dude.
Me too. I love the Boondocks.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dong, dong.
That, literally the best opening theme song too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
I
oh
was
man.
a stone that the builder refused.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Break it down,
yeah.
Winston. Break it down.
That's my shit, dude. I'm so sad that we lost John Witherspoon, bro.
Yeah, but they're doing another Boondocks.
No, I know, but I'm just curious
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
was working on it, so I wonder what they're gonna do. Like, I doubt that they got all of the stuff they wanted from him, so they're gonna try and get like some sort of like impressionist, or are they
some
gonna just
scraps,
acknowledge that Granddad died or something?
Yeah.
Or
Well, I know that's what
you
happened with Avatar: The Last Airbender. The guy who voiced Uncle Io passed away, and that's why he wasn't in the last season much. Like, you know, he was in prison, like doing push-ups, and they didn't. I think he had like 2 more lines because they replaced the actor.
Yeah.
But he just passed away during voice recording.
It's so sad.
Sorry,
man.
Kristian, you left the show and we started talking about dark stuff.
Oh my God.
Nice. I do want to get to some more of these things, though. Thank you guys for running the show.
Wait,
what
what's
about
the
you? What
4K?
about
But
you?
I don't know if I don't.
4K is just like super.
It's
super
on
I
high
know
Disney
that's
Plus.
the thing. It's what?
If you have a 4K TV,
I
there's
don't.
the
That's
Star
what I'm
Wars
saying.
ones
I don't
now.
think I
Well,
get
then
a vote in this.
This doesn't
Yeah.
concern you. Andrew DeMolanta. Hey, all. Glad to see Ben is feeling better. Hey, Harloff, I didn't realize you changed the spoiler ban for Spectacular, and I posted my podcast on the Facebook group. Sorry about that, but still, check out Beyond the Schmoedown where podcasts are found. You don't have to apologize for it. That's my point. My point is that you should be, and even the after show for SEN Live had Laura Kelly on,
Right.
And it's like, so you choose to listen to it. You know, it's like you choose to listen to it. So
It just caught me off guard because they didn't because I was listening to the after show on the way over here, and they said we're going to talk the Spectacular, but they didn't put one way or the other if they were going to like fully spoiler talk.
Well, they released it
so.
today, and originally it was supposed to be the spoiler review was supposed to come out today, but then we realized on Tuesday that we have this time we're not going to have a show, and what better time than to run the whole thing? So that way, if you're brand new to the Schmoedown, you ever seen, you can tune in for a couple matches. I mean, you're not going to watch maybe some people watch the 5-6 hour event like in one shot, but
you're eventually going to break them up, aren't you?
Yeah, so we're going to do this for the next couple of weeks. We're going to let this version, this is the edited version with all the stuff with the pre-show in it. And then we're going to, RB3 is going to cut out the actual matches themselves, and we're going to post the matches. Somebody here? That was a disaster.
You okay?
Yeah, somebody here? Or are you going?
Ladies
and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen. You didn't tell me you were coming in today.
Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
There's a fight.
we talked about this on Saturday.
I don't
Mark
think
It
Ellis.
was a phone call. We actually
Oh my God.
spoke on the phone about
Sit over
this.
here. No,
God.
but we did.
Oh no!
Oh my
I'll
God.
wait outside.
Oh my God.
Come
This
We
sit
got
down.
talked about
so-
the premiere,
Yeah,
and I said, "Well, yeah, I'll see you on Monday for the show." And you're like, "Yeah."
I thought you meant the premiere, the show.
The show.
I didn't.
Hey,
know what
we're
you're
going
talking
to see the Star Wars show tonight.
about. Sorry, RB3.
Jesus Christ! Now it's like I'm a
I'm
stranger
so
in my
happy
own
to
house.
see you.
Oh, what
Let's
is
give RB
this?
let's give
Winston,
RB3
come on.
give me
Hey,
this
you're
one.
just sad because you're the only NFC East team that didn't win this week.
Oh my God!
Come on, man.
We
How you
tried
gonna-
to do y'all a favor yesterday.
The Schmoebot just got a
Well,
hard
I
on.
appreciate it. I wish you
Yeah.
had. I just come
Wow.
on, man. Jesus, you go.
The Cowboy Santa hat too.
Hey man,
Oh
look,
my
we
God!
finally beat our first 500 team, bro. All right, I'm proud of us.
You can't get the coin toss
I
right,
don't-
but you can.
well, if you look, they did fuck up. All right,
Yeah, I
like,
know,
like
yeah,
so.
Dak
but-
was like, "Wait, I had to say the magic D word."
Yeah,
Like,
Well, Mark, we were anticipating your debut here. So
No,
we're
I'm
glad
done
you're
with
here.
you. I'm talking to Winston about sports. Yeah, we like went over this thing because you and I were talking about business. And I was
Yes.
like, well, yeah, after the show on Monday, you and I can kind of look at what we need to do. And I got a lot of the Harloff, like, is he listening to me? Is
Probably-
like,
probably.
yeah, no.
With the kids screaming in the background.
Sounds good. I complimented you on your glasses. I said, hey, dude, nice spectacles, and you didn't hear it, and so you're like, yeah, I know. Like it was like you didn't hear what I said, and so you were just trying to act like,
No, I heard it.
No, I got it.
I got it.
You have no idea what spectacles are.
I did, but I got it 5 seconds later. I think.
Yeah,
After.
Mom and Dad are having a conversation.
But you know what I have to
Stop
tell
hitting
you?
Bobby at the table.
But I have to tell you that you'd be very.
I was in Wisconsin all week. And I come home to you kids.
Do you want to be proud of Vivian?
Yeah.
So I got to tell him because he'll really love this. So the other.
I have no issue with anybody else in your family.
No, this you will love from her
Yeah.
because I tell
What
her
do we got?
whenever she says you know
keep it
what
going.
I say chicken butt and she doesn't like it, right?
So guess what? Chicken butt.
She says, you know what? And I say chicken butt. She goes, I don't say that anymore. So I don't like that. Right?
Yeah.
And I keep doing it to her. So the other day we're driving and she goes, Dad, you know what? And I go, chicken butt. She goes, don't be an open micer.
Good for her.
She goes, open micers just keep trying the same thing again
Where is
and
she?
again.
Do you
I
say
used
the
to
term
say-
open micer?
I used to
around?
say that to her when she was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I would tell her, she kept saying,
Kids are
and
freaky.
I would tell her, I'd say, come on, don't repeat the same thing, be an open mic.
Oh,
And she-
that's
and She
good.
brought it back to me 4 or 5 years later.
Wow.
Yeah. We're still in the middle. So we talked a bunch.
I'm sorry to interrupt the program.
No, that's fine.
That was a
I was
pleasant-
coming in here and I was walking in, and maybe it says something about me that I got such a great reception when I came in.
It was
It
a good
freaked
one.
me out a little bit. I was like, wait
I
a minute, this is a little too good.
Yeah.
It's a little too crowded in here because I skipped from my car to here. It's Star
You're
Wars
excited.
Day.
I know,
I'm
I know.
just because I got the invite in the mail like 2 weeks ago. I got
Right.
like the whole thing you fold out and like the Skywalker
Oh.
and Rey and
Stop.
Kylo come up and it's just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then,
Yeah.
See, I'm going, but stop, because I didn't get that. I'm just a +1.
you're going
Tonight?
to tonight?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting week.
Can't
Oh,
think
for
of
sure,
any
but
questions.
don't-
Stay off
but
Twitter.
wanna
One more
donate
day.
to my favorite peeps. Mark just came in so perfect time for Schmoebot McClunky.
I forgot you hate the Schmoebot.
Yeah. One more time, David.
The Schmoebot
Thank you.
wants to say McClunky, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's the repeated inferences that my female dog possesses a giant
Sorry for
schlong.
interrupting your story before Kate. I felt bad.
No.
You have the best stories. Also glad to see Mark. I won't try and mess with you because I hate to see Dad Ellis come out. DIDNT have a dad and I'm fine keeping it that way.
The thing about the Schmoebot is you can't plan when you're interrupting,
No.
so don't apologize.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I've missed you.
I've missed you a lot. That's why I screamed when you came in.
You are one of my favorite people. Do you get to
Oh,
see the
it's
Star the Space movie?
I get to.
Yeah?
Tomorrow.
Really?
She's coming with
El
me tomorrow
Capitan.
morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. We going to the early one?
Yeah, you're going to
Okay,
By the way,
good.
You
Yeah.
going also? Okay,
You
cool.
look exactly. There's the guy in Force Awakens.
we-
Oh, you guys talk about this all the time.
Conjure Club?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kate?
Oh wait, no, we were doing well until
Old
that.
wounds.
Just kidding. You don't look like that. You don't look like that.
Wait, did you really? You didn't? This,
I really
this was
didn't know.
some
I swear
sort
to
of.
God.
What is
I have
this?
nothing
I
to
swear
do
to
with
God,
this.
I swear to God, I didn't. I
You
literally
see,
said
Winston,
to Dickie, I'm like, it's
Kristian
Mark
loves
Ellis.
morning radio, and Kristian loves nothing more than bits and like, oh, let's see if Ellis can chug a gallon of milk when he comes in. And I used to. There's this guy in The Force Awakens who looks exactly like me.
Exactly.
He
Okay,
does
so we
look
can
exactly
admit
like
that.
Just rewatched it. That's why.
That's why
probably
I just
she's
rewatched it.
thinking
Well, what's
never
funny is that when we were all at the premiere of Force Awakens,
Yeah.
like there was a little when the guy comes on screen,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just like, oh, it's a good-looking guy, and everybody else, there was like a ripple in our row.
I
And
hit you on the
and
side,
I'm
yeah.
like, what are you idiots?
I
Are
says
you
you.
excited that Han Solo is on screen? And then afterwards, they're like, hey, you were really good in that one scene. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He got it for like 2 years.
I got it for
sorry.
two.
Well,
I too am going to a funeral as well.
Oh.
Our dear
Sorry.
cowboy friends from Dallas will be laid
Oh.
to rest Sunday at 4:30 p.m. in Philadelphia.
Is that
Big
true?
game.
Is that true?
They will
Big
be
game.
buried next to Eli Manning's career and the entire
Hey,
racist
hey.
Washington franchise.
Well, that is.
Wow.
I will
R.I.P.
give you the.
Dallas.
I will give you that
Hello.
last point.
I can't dispute that.
There's a reason I call them the football team from Washington. But
I call them the Washington Gentlemen's Club of the Greater D.C. area.
I want to get to some more of these things here.
I did like Haskins yesterday, though. He showed me something yesterday.
good for you.
He was competitive. Yeah.
So did Eli. K Wildcat 2012 put in a Schmoebot video punks. I actually was strangely turned on by Zion, the female Twi'lek. Where the blue women at? Well, she was.
Where the blue women at?
Did you watch the latest episode of Mandalorian?
Is that the
No.
Millennium Falcon burning in front of Rey? Question
No, it's
mark,
not.
exclamation mark.
No.
Question mark, exclamation mark. Here is the link to the TV spot. Also send prayers to southern U.S. They're in midst of major tornado outbreak.
Oh.
EF 405 heading towards Alexandria, Louisiana now.
Uh-oh, that's not good. But no, it's not the Millennium Falcon burning.
What was it? What was that? Was that a Weather Channel update? Did they?
I think so. That's what Schmoebot's evolved.
Okay, good. Just like
Hey, look, you finally got sponsored ads, bro. The Weather Channel on this
know.
motherfucker.
Robot's got Doppler.
It is absolutely true. Let me go see.
I have not seen The Mandalorian yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
Oh,
but
shit.
Well,
I hear it seems like
can
it pretty.
skip
Last
five.
one's great. Last
Yeah.
one's great.
Seems like
One
people are
before
pretty
that.
positive.
6, yeah, I would say skip
Yeah.
5 if you could only watch one
Yeah,
before you
the
die.
most
watch
recent one
6.
is the one with Burr in it,
Yeah.
right?
I love
okay,
Burr
yeah,
in
I
it.
gotta
Yeah,
see
he
that.
was
great.
actually great in it. Yeah.
Joe the Giant. Ben, since it's Christmas time, the time of year that seems to be all about presents and lists, my present to you is a list. A list of movies that show that crime doesn't pay. Scarface, Reservoir Dogs, The Departed, and the Christmas classic Die Hard. So don't steal things is what he's telling me to say. Baby Yoda Schlong. Also put in a Schmoebot. Eric, the only thing I can think of is that you have to load from your last save point. That's what Ben said.
That's what I said.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Fallen Order.
That should happen automatically when you
Stop.
load into
He
the
used a
game
lot
when
of
you start it up
expletives.
again. Also, no, I did that though. I did the load.
still your
I'm still screwed.
It was you-
Also, stay away from Fallen Order ads. They spoil moments to push sales.
I think you're just at that age, dude. I think it's just time to plug in a
Hang it up.
Nintendo, save a princess.
But I'm letting the 8-year-old. I'm letting the
10
8-year-old
minutes in
play
and out.
though.
You're done.
Yeah, I know.
10 minutes. You got to World 8 in 10 minutes?
I could get to World 8-8, World 8-4 in 7 minutes.
What the fuck? You
In
speed run? You know
college.
how to speed run?
Oh, yeah. But that's how I play. Here's how I play video games now is I go on YouTube and I watch people who are good at them play them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Fallen Order, I'm actually excited to watch like the story.
Yeah,
And
you
then
can do
if-
that on YouTube.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and
You can do it on YouTube.
I realize
You can
that
go
thing.
on YouTube and play it.
No, you missed it. That was the whole thing. Is he goes, hey, people in the comments, give me some tips. I don't know what to do. So,
Hey,
like, I already
Ultra
tried looking at
Redskins.
YouTube videos.
Hail victory. Braves on the warpath fight for
Old
old.
DC.
Run all pass and score, we want a lot more. Beat 'em, swamp 'em, touchdown, let the points soar.
Fight
on,
on,
fight
fight
on,
on,
till
till
you
you
have won,
have
Sons of
won,
Washington.
Sons of
Love you, Mark.
Washington.
Love you, Mark.
Do you know that song?
It's the hail. It's what we play when we score a lot. So
Tear
it's played like.
down Chicago Bears. They're the pride and joy of Illinois. No one? Interesting.
You're right.
Enjoy Mitch Trubisky for the next 10 years.
Hold up. We them boys. hold up. We making noise.
What song do they play when the Is it some like Clinton Black song from
I'm
1987?
Henry the Eighth. I am Henry the Eighth. I am. No. Is that from Ghost? One of the two.
It's not from Ghost.
It's Henry. It's
he
the
sings
Hermit
it-
and the Hermits. I
Honey,
know.
just because he sings it in the movie.
But it's in Ghost. All right.
You know, Patrick Swayze wrote that
He
original
wrote it.
song.
right after Smells Like the Wind or whatever it is.
Anyway,
She's like the wind.
Anthony Nugent put in a Schmoebot.
Just a fool to believe I have anything she needs.
She's like the wind.
ZCM Zombie Custom Map says, please get Stephen H. Glickman on the show. Would love to. Plus, RG's hair, RG3 or B3's hair, it says it does say RG3 here, is looking on fleek. Can we get an impression of Kate doing her Stallone talking about Kristian's video game problems? Do you do a Stallone?
Wow.
No, I don't think I do.
Okay,
Stallone.
improv
Do I do
class.
a Stallone?
These impressions are getting like so deep level.
I
Like,
know, it's
last
they're
like
week-
getting
very
meta than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I do an Amy Sedaris.
They're getting
from
J.J.
episode
Abrams
5.
meta.
That's
Do Amy Sedaris talking about my video game problems.
Oh, God, Guy, you just really got a lot of expletives. Just let them fly. Tell you what, one thing you could do is just stop saying you don't want to play with the droids.
That's good.
That's good, Kate,
Now-
but I believe the person paid for Stallone.
I know.
Here's my.
Okay?
I can't get past the fail. I just don't understand. It
Did
feels
say
just
Kate.
like right.
Did say Kate.
It also said RG3.
If Dagnino
Yeah, they
had
don't
to
know.
do if Dagnino had to do a Arnold, which is
Yeah.
the worst impression we've ever heard, then you have to do.
Oh, I have to
Stallone.
do a Stallone. Okay.
You just dug inside of your mouth. Kate.
That sounds like Obama has palsy.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Wow!
I thought.
You
I
sling
don't know. I
blade?
got nothing. I got nothing. It's not even in
It's
my
not even good.
vocal register.
No, mine's not that good.
Sorry,
That was like
sir.
Tropic Thunder over there.
All right, here we go. Let's go. I'm gonna go. Moving on here to this was. Did we do Jacob? I didn't do Jacob Gabetta.
I love the song.
Jake Acabetta. Love this crew. Haven't felt like doing shit at work today, and y'all make it much easier to
Hey,
successfully
Jake.
comfortable. Thank you. Really appreciate that, Jake. You're the man.
You are the man.
Yeah.
Jack.
ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Have you all heard about the Michael Jackson musical made by Johnny Depp? No. Everything about that sounds like it's a disaster.
What?
Is that
Sounds
true?
like a few
fake. That's gotta
hashtags
be
waiting to
fake.
happen.
Can you look at that? Is that a true thing?
That can't be.
That can't be.
That
That's
can't be.
If, I hope it's not because that's really funny.
Do you get
And it's-
enough?
What a
Do
disaster.
you get enough characters on Twitter now to have all the hashtags that like? Can you believe hashtag? And then
There's only one hashtag. Hashtag don't.
yeah,
That's the only hashtag that comes in there.
I love that
real
cologne
quick,
commercial where he's
real
burying
quick,
a
Kristian.
buffalo.
Yes.
The title of the article is Johnny Depp to produce Michael Jackson as told by his glove musical.
So it is
Oh
true.
wow, it's even
Story
worse.
of the glove.
Oh God, you killed RB3. You killed RB3.
What's happening over there?
An upcoming unauthorized musical will focus on Michael Jackson's life story from the perspective of the King of Pop's iconic sequin glove.
Look at RB3. It's gonna lose.
To make the project even weirder, this is them, not me. This is Rolling Stone. Johnny Depp is on board to produce the stage show, which will debut on January 25th in LA. So
I can't wait.
It's
Yo,
from the
save the
perspective
date.
of the glove.
RB3, that was so magical for me because you literally did that same shit that happens at every black stand-up show. There's always the one big dude with his tiny little white wife in the front.
I love that Ben's the tiny white wife.
Yo, nigga, you hilarious. You killing me, dog.
That's true. Oh my God, that's great. All right, let's see. Bam 86.
Perspective of his glove.
Bam 86. My
Hamburger Helper, that was a glove that talked.
It's true.
Good, right? Remember?
This nigga hilarious. You killing me, dog.
It's like the good version of Red Fox having a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like
I'm coming to meet you.
that glove definitely saw the inside of certain things.
Oh,
Jesus.
somebody gonna get pregnant. Bam 86. My ex is from a tiny island and never saw Star Wars until I showed her all the films. She gasped when Vader said his famous line. She had never heard it before. Have you
my
ever
God.
relived a classic film in the same way? And which film was it? Actually was Empire, watching it with at the time she was 5, watching it and watching her reaction. I'm actually looking forward. It's the only reason you have kids, so you can watch that moment with
There's a bunch of like compilations of
that,
kids
yeah,
seeing
watching
that
it,
at like
yeah.
5 and be like, what?
Yeah, I want to show. I'm waiting for my 2-year-old to be able to get old enough to watch it and then be able to do the
You
same
think
thing.
you think I can hold out until 5? I mean, you got
Vivian did.
Vivi running around. You got to
That's the
let
funny
her
thing is
know.
my
before she ruins
Can't
it.
spoil it, yeah.
My
she'll ruin
kid
it.
knew. I don't even know how.
Yeah, it just
Because they play
hangs out
Star
with a bunch
Wars.
of
You know what I
assholes.
mean? Like he knew. I didn't get that.
I saw Jaws: The Revenge before my sister did. So I
Oh.
knew when the shark was going to come up and eat Sean Brody at the beginning of the movie, and so
Right.
I sneaked behind her chair. This is
No.
last week.
No.
This is like when I was like 6 years old and she was 8, and I knew it was about to happen. I jumped. I just timed it perfectly. Scared the shit out of her. It was great.
That's great. Yeah, that's-
maybe the peak of my career.
Yep.
Been all downhill since then.
Jordan Anderson put a Schmoebot in. Thank you so much. SP, during your Collider era, what was more awkward during the commercial break? The SMD moment or the Galaxy's Edge rant? Well, actually, the funny thing about the Galaxy's Edge rant was
What's the SMD moment?
Roxy when she said suck my dick.
That
That was probably way more awkward because that they had to like hash it out. Everybody played like the Galaxy's Edge. Thad and I did like a fist bump during the actual break because we thought it was like a good moment, then realized it blew up and didn't work out the way we thought it would. But Anthony Nugent put in the Schmoebot. Sean Petersell, what current stand-up comedian do you think has the potential to transfer over to be a major actor? I think D'Elia can really blow up. I don't know.
He's got a new Netflix show coming out.
Yeah,
that I'm excited to see.
He's been acting for
He hasn't
years
popped
and
yet.
years and years.
I want to see Bo Burnham do something because he's such a like 8th grade was so good, and he's in the Carey Mulligan movie, the Promising Young Woman, I think it's called, the one we were talking about.
Oh.
So I love Bo Burnham, everything he does.
I would say Mark Ellis.
Nope.
Mark
I would say Fahim Anwar is a really funny, just a talented dude. He's got a lot of talent, and I think that you can move that into other places. And I was talking with I went to Eliza's holiday party.
Oh, yeah.
Eliza Schlesinger. Yep. She's got her new special out on Netflix called Unveiled. She's working on something really cool right now that she wrote. too.
She's a really good actress, by the
Yeah.
way.
She's a great actress.
So I think she could. Yeah.
She was great. Yeah,
She was really good in the show that
fantastic.
we did, but also I think that she could have. There's a lot of roles that have been cast by. I won't throw anybody on the bus. There's a particular. I remember watching a movie and I texted Eliza. I said, I think you would have done a billion times better. And the person was fine and actually got a lot of success off the role. Yeah. She's very talented and a really good actress. I think Eliza's a good pick, actually.
Would you say that Gerard Carmichael has already crossed, so it doesn't count? Because I know he
he's
had a
crossed
show.
over in comedic. There's some more dramatic acting too, because I guess it's a good transfer over to you talk about like Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I just watched Uncut Gems last night.
How was it? Oh,
RB3
wow.
and I can talk about it real quick. I liked it a lot. So the beginning of the movie I almost shut it off because the first like 2 minutes do this weird choice where they overpower everything with the music, like during the credits, and you don't realize it until it's like 2 minutes in that they're doing the credits. That's why they're doing this. But it's not like one of these things where the audio's all the way low and the music's over and like okay,
you can sort of
no, you can hear it.
Perspective of MJ's glove. What's next? A perspective from Cosby's pudding cup.
Yes.
fuck.
Yes.
Also thoughts on new Top Gun trailer. I thought first one was better.
We'll get into Top Gun.
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a second.
I haven't
anyway.
seen it.
Well, we're gonna
what do I do? I don't want it ruined for me.
We won't spoil
I have
it.
very few things that I look forward to in life.
It's very nostalgic. We'll bring it back to.
I can watch it. I can go outside and watch it.
Yeah,
Why don't you do that?
watch it.
Go
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And come back in
Right now?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll wait till the Schmoebot comes on.
It's on. It's been on.
You mean he means actually gets
Yeah.
interrupted?
Soon as the Schmoedown.
Somebody interrupt. Jake Cacavetta, where are you? Interrupt. interrupt.
Slow day
Ellis.
at work.
Soggy mini
Yeah.
muffins.
Yeah.
You here today?
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
Uncut Gems.
Yes, Uncut Gems. So the beginning of the movie, they have
Yeah, I
this,
can go ahead and watch it.
yeah, they have this music. They have this music that overpowers it, and I was like, okay.
I'll go with
but
you. I didn't see it either.
you don't want to hear about the movie either.
I mean, I'm gonna see the movie.
You see, well, fuck these guys. So RB3,
I'll just hop over
go
there.
hop over there.
Yeah, come over here, RB3.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get RB3's review in this too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So RB3.
Yeah.
And David, actually, for this review, can you mute the Schmoebot for a second? So, yeah, let's mute the Schmoebot so we can get into the actual review. The beginning of it, like I said, that threw me off with the music kind of overpowering it. But then the story starts to kick in. And Adam Sandler, it really is... It's his movie. The same way that the Joker is Joaquin Phoenix's, where it's on him, the spotlight's on him the whole movie. It doesn't like cut back and forth. It's his movie from start to finish. Right. Like that, to me, this is when I think Adam Sandler is always at his best. Whether it's movies like Spanglish or it's movies like the Punch Drunk Love. Yeah. It's these more serious movies that I don't think he taps into enough that I think he shines, and he's phenomenal in this film. But what the brothers do here and the way that they direct this movie, it's dark, it feels real. Nobody's likable in this movie, and that's done purposely. Idina Menzel also does a great job as his wife. There's a few different. I mean, Kevin Garnett we mentioned in this movie earlier, who I didn't know if it was going to be a smaller role or not, but he's in it significantly. And I thought Lakeith James is always
Lakeith
Seifeld. Excuse me, he is always good. That
He's
guy.
so good,
always
and
good.
he's so different in every role he takes on.
He was
love him.
very different in this role. But what were
love
your
him.
overall thoughts of this movie?
Yeah, this is one of when I first saw this movie. This, it at first I kind of saw, and it's a movie that induces a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
I mean, it's shot the Safdie brothers are very good at that. Their last film, Good Time, it had a very tight and close up tight feel that made it feel very anxious.
The whole movie's
and,
a panic.
Yeah, panic attack. And this movie takes that up to the next level. I almost consider it like an Adam Sandler movie on acid because it's literally just there are situations and scenarios that happen in this movie that you could totally see coming out of an Adam Sandler comedy, but handled not from a comedic perspective, but from a deadly serious perspective. And it really and I say it's kind of on acid because the score is just so mystical. Yeah, it's a lot of this movie deals with the idea of this gem that Adam Sandler gets from this country.
Right. And he's a disaster of a human being.
Yeah. And and the movie even shows the disasters of mining for gems and what that does.
Right.
And the idea of how gems and money could possess you. And then Kevin Garnett's really the secondary player in this movie. I thought he was just going to be a cameo, but he's almost the second lead.
He's a big portion of the story. What the story is about. Yeah.
And but the way they incorporate all of these elements, it seems like a crazy out there movie. The Weeknd even has an appearance in this movie.
Oh, really?
And it seems really, really weird. And it seems like this is definitely an Adam Sandler. You think this is a premise for just go with it, a jewelry guy who's trying to shift money around. But this is it's dark, it's serious.
Yeah, my favorite cameo in the whole thing was, and this is not going to be a big spoiler for him, is John Amos.
Yeah.
The way that they did that whole thing was amazing.
Yeah. No, it's great. And it's to me at first when I first saw this movie, it has a very shocking kind of thing that happens towards the end, and for me, it always turns me off when a movie is just shocking for the sake of being shocking.
This worked.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense when you watch it again. And to me, this is when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it was all right. But to me, it automatically jumped up to top tier of the year for me.
It's a very well written film. It's one of the best crime films I've seen in a long time for sure. And I think it's also they take a lot of the tropes that you think are going to happen, and they kind of dump it on its head. So I go pretty big with this. I go 4.5 out of 5 schmoes.
Yeah. No, this is a big one for me too. I love the Safdie Safdie Brothers' last film. Good
What do you
time.
got?
I think this one is even better. So I go like 4.75 out of 5 Schmoes.
There you go.
Wow.
RB3, thank you so much. All right, we'll sit. We'll have Ellis come back in here too. Ellis, when'd you get here? Can you guys shut the curtain though there too?
Oh, the curtain.
Thanks. Nobody heard anything. Good. That a girl. Look at her. So I want to, before we get into the Top Gun trailer, because you guys both watched it.
We need to talk about
Sean Petersell did Toby Thrawn, dream casting for Dr. Aphra. If they are already done shooting, she already has to be casted. But since nothing is official, we can still theorize. I read Chloe Bennett online, and I like the idea. Also, Rinko Kuchi seemed to be a fan favorite. I think I like Florence Pugh. Myself.
Dr. Aphra program.
So the rumor is right now that they've already started shooting the Dr.
Yeah,
Aphra
I saw a little bit of that. So it'd be live action. So you'd get to see your boy, Darth Julius Vader, probably back,
Most
right?
likely he would be, yeah.
It worries me, though, because Dr. Aphra interacted with, like, Leia and Luke and stuff. So it's like, do you can't...
Well, but this is the question, though. The question is when in her lifetime is the series. It doesn't necessarily have to be during the same time as the comics.
Yeah, it could be somewhere else.
It could be years later.
Yeah.
It could be after Jedi. Or it could be all these things. The comic takes place in between New Hope and Empire.
I don't hate the move. I think it's nice because you have the Mandalorian, who's a dude. You have Obi-Wan, who's a dude. You have Cassian Andor, who's a dude. So you give a female a leading role, and that gets to be the star of a Star Wars show. I think that's awesome.
Right.
When are we going back to the Old Republic?
That was the rumor.
Is that are we saving it for the movies? Because that's fine.
I don't. I think Kathleen Kennedy is terrified of it.
We're just shoehorning much into this time frame.
Yeah. And then, let's get into that also. There's all these.
I got my movies.
Did you hear the comments, by the way, that she made today or whenever it was, basically saying that they're not going to do another trilogy at all. Like they have no interest in doing another trilogy. I understand what she was.
But right now.
No. Basically, what she's saying is by not putting the pressure of doing a full-fledged trilogy and then not saying that she's not going to do movies in a set, by saying maybe you could do 4 movies in a set, 5 movies in a set. But I think it was the way that it was said, again, that it's just like sometimes it's like from when you're about to premiere this movie and the way that the fan base kind of takes things. To say this at this point,
it's almost like saying this was a failure.
But what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, see, I look at it. I try to put a positive spin on it, where it's like you could look at that and say, well, that's just them trying to goose sales. Like, hey, this movie's really special. It's coming. This is the last time it's going to feel like this, which is what I'm kind of psyched up for about tonight.
Right.
This is and that is the truth because I love Star Wars. I'm always going to be a fan of Star Wars. Whatever movies come out, I'm going to get excited to go see them. Tonight's the last time it's going to feel like this. Tonight's the last time I'm ever going to feel like that. So if you don't want to go ahead and say, "Oh, we're making a new trilogy with this storyline," that's fine with me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to watch that movie, and I'm pretty sure at the end of whatever new movie comes out, there's going to be some room left for a sequel.
But
so
she's done this.
I'm okay with that.
But I say don't be definitive on anything. She's done this before. She was right about to announce the Obi-Wan movie, and she said, "Oh, we're going to announce the new spinoff movie next month." It was like coming. It was in June and July, and then something happened with it. It was Solo, whatever, and then they just decided
awesome
not
time
to.
Tonight at premiere. Hope to see you on the red carpet like we did on The Force Awakens. Mark, are you going white suit again? Also, with Urban Meyer in the Skins box yesterday, would you want him as head coach?
Nah, I don't want Urban Meyer as head coach. The guy's, he doesn't seem like his heart's into coaching in the NFL for the Redskins anyway, which I don't blame him. But he's also the guy, he's literally stepped away from 2 programs because of health issues. Right. And I just think that working for Dan Snyder or Jerry for that matter that puts a lot of pressure on one's ticker.
More important, white suit.
No, I'm going Return of the Jedi Luke tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not dressing for a funeral, but I am dressing. I'm going Return of the Jedi Luke.
I would like to know what it's like from the perspective of Mark's glove, because I'm assuming you're going with the black glove.
I'm going with the black glove.
Yeah.
That's good.
RB3 loves the glove. Anything.
Good, yeah.
I got callback was for you, baby. Callback was for you.
It's gonna have rhinestones on the inside, so it looks like I'm doing force powers when I open it. What other famous gloves in history?
The OJ glove.
Infinity glove.
OJ glove.
The Infinity
The
glove.
Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, this
Dude,
is.
there's a
what's
lot
the
of famous
Nintendo
gloves.
Power Glove?
The Nintendo Power glove.
Freddy Krueger's glove.
That's a good
Freddy
one,
Krueger's
too.
glove.
Shared universe.
Sure.
Y'all.
Does Rocky's glove count?
Sure.
Huey Freeman's Black Power fist glove.
Yes. Andrew Dice Clay's fingerless glove.
That's right. Okay, good. Big B. Sup, people. My daily donation here. Rough day at work, and you guys are keeping me sane. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The glove from Serendipity that they were looking for.
ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Can we have the Pizza Kitchen over there guy talk about the Top Gun trailer?
If we are the Pizza Kitchen, I like that name for Winston and I.
Dude, that's an old
Pizza Kitchen duo.
That's an old school reference because I was like, he couldn't be. So when Brett and I worked at the California Pizza Kitchen, there was this old man who'd be like, hey, you got any of that pea soup over there? And the guy was like 78. He's got to be gone by now.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, any more of those breadsticks over there? And Brett and I would be like, over there, and every single thing. So I mean, how would he review it? Let's see. I can't do the whole trailer.
There was this bum who used to hang out outside the Comedy Store in the Laugh Factory open mic, and like at the end of every sentence was over there, and like you could, you go to Vegas over there, and they got the Jews over there, and then Palm Springs over there, and it's like, what are you talking about?
So here, this is. I'll start it. Hey, Mark, you got that Maverick over there?
You guys got that new instructor over there?
Yeah.
He's flown a lot of missions over there. He's got Miles Teller over there with the F-18 over there.
There was another guy. There was this waiter. His name was Manny, and he was younger, and he wouldn't say over there, but he would say whatever, and he was like from Boston. You know, there's a guy, people, you know, they spinach whatever, you know, and the one lady, she wouldn't leave that much of a tip, but whatever, you know. And that guy's coming back over, and I was looking over, so whatever. Whatever.
I would love if that's how Maverick taught his class.
So you go upside down, you hit the brakes, or whatever.
You got the joystick or whatever. You hit the jet button or whatever, and you're Indian Ocean, whatever.
Just don't kill your friend, whatever. You know, speaking of,
this is like watching like a Key and Peele, like watching like a Abbott and Costello, like watching like a. This is incredible.
This is watching like two gloves
Mark,
became
they
human.
shut the Schmoebot down as soon as you left the room and turned it back on. You walked in. What's the deal with that?
I mean, what's the deal with the Schmoebot? I mean, come on. Mark walks in, he walks out, come back in, you know what I mean? Whatever.
What's the deal with F-18s? I mean, they fly so fast, you can't see them.
You give the Russians the bird. That's what you do.
Why would you do that? I've been practicing, bro.
How could you get a view of a MiG-28? Because I was inverted.
Why would you be inverted on an airplane? I got to get him on the show to do it.
Who, Seabass?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Ellis, why wouldn't you call first?
I'm not sure Sebastian would respond kindly to. There's a robot.
Yeah, right.
Robot
Interrupting my set.
Interrupts me.
I'll give you the money.
Yeah, that's what you do. You have Sebastian in here, please.
Yeah.
Just let him.
Wait, you want on guests to be funny? And then have a machine interrupt them?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Wow, you've been watching a lot of Sebastian.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this trailer.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. It's
My favorite part of the trailer is at the end when Winston and I were watching it and we were about to bro hug each other.
Don't do this.
And then this window popped up that said, click here to watch the Kardashian Jenners do impressions of each other. Kind of took away the steam from the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
Well,
But I thought it was great. I think that now I'm like a little more. First of all, that action shot at the end, because it's like cool to like watch the pilots practice for a while, and then you're like, okay, is there something happening?
Repeat after me. Long live Dan Snyder. Long live Dan Snyder.
See, he's actually okay with this.
Snyder.
He was about ready
Long
to
live
fucking
Dan
punch
Snyder.
a mic until
Long
Oh, no,
live
this-
Dan Snyder.
This still makes sense.
Dallas
Punch a mic.
sucks.
Ellis sucks.
Long live
Dallas
Dan
sucks.
Snyder.
Dallas sucks.
Long
Dallas.
live Dan
This
sucks.
is the worst the Schmoebot's
Long
ever
live
been.
Dan. Mark had to do it.
Yeah.
Because Dan Snyder is so young and healthy, and he's just running our franchise continually
ground.
into the ground. Yeah. So.
Long live Dan Snyder.
I thought the Top Gun trailer, by the way, I think played with nostalgia.
Yeah.
But you
But
can
then at
see-
the end, that action shot, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're getting into some
It's
stuff.
going to be the same shit. They have the shirtless volleyball thing. It looks like they're doing again.
They're playing
that dude had
football.
so many
But-
abs.
Yeah.
But
like-
first of all, Miles Teller
like
Teller
11
has
of
the
them.
'80s mustache going on in that
Does
thing,
he?
too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Miles Teller?
Yeah, man.
But the mustache hid it from me. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
Miles Teller is, I actually think, perfect for this movie.
If you had to put a bet on who's gonna bite it, do any of you dare take Maverick as someone
Nah, Maverick won't
who
go.
dies?
Nah. But
No.
they already show it. Looks like it's gonna be one of the. It's gonna be a beat by beat, almost same shit happening, nostalgia purposes.
Oh, so you don't think? Are you not that excited about
Maverick's
it?
thing. Oh, I'm very excited. I
Yeah.
loved the trailer. I
Yeah.
loved it. I think it was perfect. It's what I
think
wanted
they'll
to see.
switch it up. I think you're going to have some switch ups. Kate, your thoughts?
I think Maverick actually.
Will eat it?
I do. I feel
Well,
like
then he
I feel
definitely
like.
won't die.
Yeah, I know. That you can take a bet against anything I say. I've never been right about anything ever. No, I was gonna say I feel like though, like Game of Thrones has definitely changed, like people's I don't know, like willingness to see main characters die.
Yeah. Do you know Teller plays Goose's son?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
But that's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is not going to have himself die in his own movie.
No, because the potential of doing a third one, no chance.
Yeah. Is he producing it? Then it's
Yeah,
No, but maybe because then he's like, I want to do this again. And then like
He wanted to do this movie for a long
Look,
time.
if Tom
No
Cruise
chance. He's
dies
franchise
in a
guy.
Top Gun movie, it's going to be in real life because you tried to fly a goddamn airplane.
You
Let the
have
stuntman do it.
stuntman to do it. You're famous.
You just got labeled as an SP. Just so you know.
got a guy on Collider who looks exactly like you.
Roca?
Nobody can tell the difference. Let that guy fly the plane.
That's right.
Okay? It's going to be okay, Tom. Stop it.
They told me, Fernandez told me what they're working on for another deep fake, and it's pretty awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Alden Diaz put in a Schmoebot. Joel Godina again. If Foles is better than Wentz, then why is he benched? We need a sports show.
Foles isn't better than Wentz. He got plugged in at the right time with the right team around him with the right scheme, and he was the right man for the job. I still like Carson Wentz as a talent better than Nick Foles.
I don't agree with that because Carson Wentz, that team doesn't respect him at all.
I think
you can tell they don't play for him. Like as ridiculous as Dak is from time to time, the team fucks with Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. But I think if Carson Wentz, if at the end of the season, if he leads the Eagles to the playoffs through this muck of the NFC East, I think that changes all that locker room stuff.
Maybe. I mean,
and Nick Foles has never made it through a season healthy. Carson Wentz has had injury issues, but Nick
he also
Foles
has not made it through a season healthy.
Nick Foles is brittle.
No, well, so is Carson Wentz. The problem is the Eagles keep going and getting little baby birds to fucking fly. Eagles fly, and they can't really make it past the one Super Bowl. They'll never win another Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz also has one receiver that he's throwing to. Right
I mean, and then
and three guys.
the
So
other one,
let me finish the rest of
That
this.
sounds
because
like a Kate Mulligan bet.
we need a
They'll
sport.
never win another Super Bowl.
No,
we need a sports show so I can fight with you all in a more appropriate setting.
Fair.
Love, peace, and skeet.
Oh,
Also
I see.
says-
Did you hear how Dad read that?
Yes. Also, Mark is on the show. Does that mean we can talk sports now? Haha. Michael Dingus also put in a Schmoebot. So did Alden Diaz and Joel in PA.
Okay, last
Hotel
thing is
Nerd.
that the Eagles are going to be the new 85 Bears. That team is the new 85 Bears,
think
where they're
so.
just going to eat off that championship forever.
for the rest of their life.
No
I
offense.
agree.
I'm still eating off it.
Oh, nice. Exiled
You're
Garlic.
looking at the fridge. I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cookie. You see me dance. You see me run.
Really
When
good
it
at
now
it.
kicks in, we'll have my fun.
now
I
that's
can
singing
dance.
voice.
You will see others. They all learn from me.
Anyway, I
Look.
mixed the rookie with.
I
with
can't believe you
Peyton.
let Winston in there wearing that Cowboys bullshit.
I know. Trust me.
Hey Mark, how's Molly's schlong?
Jay Gacavetta.
It's good. Is it good? Okay, good.
Does not possess one?
No.
my
Exile
knowledge?
Garlic. If you have never even played the game, I highly suggest you guys watch the new trailer for Battlefront 2. There's a Rise of
I
Sky.
thought he was going to say, if you've never played the game, stop talking about
I know.
football.
Yeah, yeah. There's a Rise of Skywalker.
Also fair.
They're doing an update. They're doing an update for Rise of
Signed
Skywalker.
Yes.
Randall
Yeah.
Cunningham.
There's a Rise of Skywalker update with a cool trailer. No spoilers or anything, just real cool. No, I didn't know that was the case, but they're also doing a big.
With a Fallen Order?
No. With Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, they did like some upgrades, but they're also doing like a big because I think they're airing 2 episodes of Mandalorian this week, Wednesday and then Friday. And Friday, I think the season.
Really?
I think so. I think the season finale is
They're
going to
closing
do.
it out before Christmas.
Yeah, because I think the season finale is going to show like a whole big preview for Rise of Skywalker. It might
Hey
even be
Mark,
Wednesday.
one just made GoFundMe account to get Dan Snyder out. I'm hoping that this $20
Yeah, you've got
come into the account in buying the Redskins because I can deal with it no more.
If I felt like it would make a dent, I would do a thing where like I do SEN live every day for a week. and every money that all the money Schmoebot contributed to that week, I would match it in a donation to get Dan Snyder to not own the Redskins anymore.
This is one. This is one I can talk to you about because I saw it over the weekend. It's Always Sunny in Philly says, "Hey SEN family, I saw Richard Jewell this weekend and I thought it was great. I agree with Kate that it might be too studio to get Oscar love. However, Paul Walter Hauser is uncanny as Jewell. Watch interviews with real Jewell and Hauser is spot on. I agree. This movie bombed over the weekend, and it's a bummer because it's a really good movie.
I really want to see it. That guy is I think he was nomination worthy in the Tanya Harding.
Oh, he was great in that movie. Yeah, and
he was
Black
so
Klansman.
Good.
That's
Black
right.
Klansman.
Klansman. That's right. He's in Black Klansman.
Right.
Cobra Kai.
He's like the really stupid one.
Yeah.
No, he's awesome. And
I
he
mean,
did
they're
so
all
much.
really stupid, right?
And I was worried that's how they were going to play Richard
I
Jewell,
know.
and they don't. There's
don't.
moments where they set that up, but they don't. And Sam Rockwell is always great. John Hamm's really good in this movie. I'm bummed that this movie's not getting a lot of attention.
I know.
Well, the whole Olivia Wilde thing overshadowed everything else.
Well, because of the fact that
the way that they portrayed her as possibly being willing to sleep with someone, and that didn't happen like that, and so
Also,
the character she's playing, not Olivia Wilde,
right? But
I
guess is that character a real person? The name was the name a real person?
Yes.
Yeah, the name's a real person, and she's
it's
deceased.
And Olivia Wilde addresses it.
What did she say?
And the way she addressed it was, I don't want to misquote, but basically she was like, it was like a great challenge to like play a complicated person, and that there, even though there were implications that this woman did that in her career.
Okay.
But also like,
and Clint Eastwood does everything in one take, and so it's like, okay, well, that take looked like you.
Yeah.
It's like that's all you get with Clint.
But I think it overshadows even that controversy, especially where we are today. Is that's the one controversy, right? The movie and Richard Jewell's story deserve to be heard, deserve to be told, and it's not, and it's getting overshadowed by all this stuff too, and it's unfair. So people are making a stance not to see the movie. I think it's bullshit.
Right.
I think the movie is. I think it's a really good movie. I think the performances are really good, and it shows you how the irony in the overall story, right? Is that Richard Jewell was this guy who found the bomb, right, and he was accused then because however it got leaked out, and it was a parallel to like social media today too.
Right.
And so all this stuff happens, and then at the end, after 88 days of them ruining his life, they let him off the hook. They don't do the same kind of media treatment they had about him not doing it. They just say, okay, here's a piece of paper, you're off the hook. Because even going into this movie, I remember the story, I remember the bombing.
Right.
But going into the movie, I said, did he do it? And
that's what I was waiting to.
But it's a true
movie.
But it's a true story, That's the problem. You should already know that he's off the hook.
No, that is.
That's the whole.
You didn't know either.
I know. No, I know that.
Come in here, flinging your words.
I know what you mean.
I know what I'm saying.
They never vindicated him publicly.
That's what I'm saying.
You got Richard Jewell over there, and you got the bomb over there, and he found the bomb over there, and then
you got
88 days
any more
over
bombs
there.
over there?
Yeah, it's like
Get off my lawn over there.
Yeah, it's
a weird weekend though, because like what was it last weekend or the weekend before? Nothing came out. That would have been a perfect time to release like an Oscar bait type movie.
Yeah.
Like and make like Knives Out did make $30 million in a weekend, make your money back, but they go up against Jumanji and.
Came out last weekend.
Isn't it weird that there's always that like hole like at the beginning of December where like nothing big comes out and you're like, what are all you holiday movies doing? Coming out at Halloween.
July.
I know.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
Shazam. Why are you coming out in March?
Right.
Come out in December,
You
the
got
first week
this
of December.
nice little, nice little perfect slice of pie.
yeah.
And we know because we're the Pizza Brothers.
Hey, the Pizza Brothers.
right,
Thank
Pizza
you.
Can I also say it's really nice that in the past 3 weeks we had a Martin Scorsese movie, a Noah Baumbach movie, and a Michael Bay movie drop on Netflix weekend after weekend
That's
after
crazy.
weekend.
I had a great time watching Marriage Story because I was done with
I
my
thought you were
last
gonna say
college gig in Wisconsin, and it was like midnight when I finally got back to my hotel in Green Bay, and the only thing open was McDonald's, and I was like, screw it, I'm going big. I got the double quarter pounder, I got the fries, and a Coca-Cola Classic, which I never drank, and I had all that, and I watched Scarlett cry for 2 hours, and I watched Adam Driver cry for 2 hours, and it was great.
And you cried for 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. I needed to see that movie. I didn't.
That's what everybody's starting to say. Is that it's incredible, but also like,
It didn't do anything emotionally.
It didn't.
didn't?
Because you're void of emotions.
Probably, yeah.
Exiled Garlic. Will Kristian and Ben be upset if the Oggo Bogdo from Fallen Order shows up in Rise of Skywalker? What's that?
That's like that big frog thing you fight on.
Oh.
Like the one that you go through the cave to fight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I won't be obsessed.
We're letting space for not my Star Wars.
Hotel
I will not have space frogs.
Hotel Nerd put in a Schmoebot, and that one guy Mel. Please read more into that Michael Jackson play. The story is that the glove is a being from another planet that feeds off a virgin boy blood. That was the reason behind all the allegations. Look into it. You can't make this shit up.
This nigga killing me.
That
shit hilarious.
It's C Forbes 54. What is the most underrated Tom Cruise performance? For me, it's Eyes Wide Shut. He's incredible in the film and gives a very subtle performance. I still say Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder. He's great. Yeah. That feeds off virgin boy blood.
Just
Hi from
imagine.
the UK. Mark was so jealous of you visiting Lambeau Field. Oh, and Kate, go, Pat, go.
I had to go, Kate. I had to go. It's a legendary.
I know you were in Green
Cathedral.
Bay. When in Rome.
Yeah.
Cheeseheads. Did you go to
We
Madison?
must nominate one glove for the mission of going to Earth. And then the one glove raises its glove hand. Fuck it, I'll do it. He's got little gloves on his. the way you nominate a tribute.
So it's just
Leans forward.
Yeah, get on the ship. I'll go backwards.
Oh, we all gotta go on like a field trip to see this thing now.
Oh my god.
That's good.
What if we're the only ones in the theater?
But chances are pretty good.
This is January 20. Whoever doesn't go to New York, because that's the same night as the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't go. Yeah.
No, don't you swig from that. Don't you swig from that.
Oh, boy.
Now, everybody's been sick. You can have some. But all
He's
right,
taking
yeah.
a
All right.
McClellan shot.
All right. Let's.
Brussels sprouts and scotch for breakfast, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll. I'm trying to get healthy. All right. So let's see.
When did Winston turn into my grandpa? It's like Christmas morning. Well, it's 10 a.m. I better get my scotch.
Smell that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
and he hates that kind of shit, too. He would have lost his mind. You think I was bad? He would have
I'm okay with
crushed-
Brussels sprouts.
Stinking up this whole thing? You
I'm
wouldn't have been
okay
all
with
right.
Brussels
Oh, those
sprouts.
actually smell. That
Yeah.
smells
I've
good.
heard you have some sort of tuna
It's like
fetish
garlic?
that
Yeah, I give him.
I'm not in on the
All right,
tuna.
let's do 30.
love that.
We have 13 minutes here, so let's.
Really? I'm the problem?
Yeah.
No.
Kate, can you just behave
That's why it was a light touch.
for 13 minutes?
C
I'm
Forbes.
really-
That
Don't touch
stinks
me.
so bad. C Forbes 54. Nobody got into the Cruise performance. So quick, underrated Cruise performance.
Magnolia.
Magnolia. I say Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder for sure.
People forget it's him.
Jack Reacher.
I didn't know.
Loved him as Jack. The first Jack Reacher's
Reacher
so
House.
good.
Jack
First
Reacher
Jack
House.
Reacher's so good.
I love that. I love that fight when he fights the Three Stooges in the bathtub. What a stupid movie that is.
I love
I'm
that
only
movie.
5'1". I'm gonna will myself to be 6'5".
I hate that stupid. All right, can't get enough. Bonnie is stunning, but I have the biggest crush on Kate. She's smart, she's funny, she's gorgeous. Her second to last appearance on Collider, she lifted her dress and almost flashed her goods. I would considering the 42,000 Copa fine just to see her do that. There you go. It started off nice and got a little creepy at the end.
Wow.
I also
Haskell,
like that you just gave the Wood Harris Avon Barksdale. Do you remember that when he drives by in the car and he just goes?
that's right. Haskell 420 put in a
love that.
Schmoebot.
Eddie.
Knapsack's ponytail's back in here. I can't tune in until later, but if the Bagel Thief didn't mention the biggest news of the day, Legends of the Hidden Temple revival with adults in a real jungle, then I'm not sure how long this long-term security isn't in question. So what is it?
So Legends of the Hidden Temple was a game show on Nickelodeon. The kids used to go in the fake temple and they had to
It
find
was
the thing.
great.
It was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
They're reviving it for adults. It's going to be.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. We're
Oh, that's the best show
Let's
ever.
go. Let's
Yes.
go, bro.
That's me and Winston's show. We're just gonna live commentate Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Hell yeah.
You are looking live at the temple. We are here, joined as always by Winston, Ben, and the Glove. He's our field reporter.
And Kristian still can't get out of it. He's trapped in the side screaming about electricity.
Kristian never saved his game.
That's true. Restarted. Loaded again.
Well, here we are. Roger has to climb a vine. Oh, and Winston takes a shot of whiskey at 9 a.m. Okay.
Well, I just found out I got an unfortunate text message that my job, one of my jobs, just ended. Out of nowhere. So
Is it this one?
No, well, I just found out. I just found out that I lost 2 jobs today. I got a text randomly being like, yeah, they're gonna do something else now. So,
I'm sorry.
you know, it is what it is.
Well, that's what I told the other
Do
day.
you want to watch the Top Gun 2 trailer again?
Well, the other day he and I were texting, and it's like, and you know, just this whole business is a racket. So he said there was this gig that he didn't get, and I said, you know what, let's just give this business a whole big shit sandwich to eat, because it's like that line from Major
how do we
League.
do that? Yeah,
that Major League. You know, it's just like, let's go give him a big shit burger to eat. You remember that, Lou Brown?
Yeah, you're the only guy I know that quotes Major League daily, but never quotes Bob Uecker in Major League. You quote everybody else.
That's true.
You never quote the quotable guy.
I do it. He's not the best color commentator in the league for nothing.
You quote Lou Brown
all the time. Look, it's just like, I don't know. I'll give you a call back. I'm working on some white walls. All right, so that's the best movie ever.
Oh, my Lord.
Ben Rayner, sorry if it's been asked already, but when is the spoiler ban lifted for the Schmoedown? I hope you all have fun tonight. Tomorrow. It'll be on tomorrow. We're going to run the Schmoedown Spectacular during this time, although 9 a.m. it'll be, and it'll go from 9 to probably 4 or 5 p.m.
Wow. Well, no, 8 p.m. Depending on how much they left in of Robert Meyer Burnett's speech, could be a couple hours.
Their speech just got cut down, and so did Burnett's.
I keep quoting
the
you.
The first crew was great. Coy.
No, this is when you said that's what we get for putting 3 comedians up, and all 3 of them ran the light.
Well, yeah, but
it wasn't.
I watched it. It wasn't that.
No, they have like a
good.
beginning, middle, and end.
They were supposed to be.
No, they were great.
Yeah.
They were
the whole thing for each one was supposed to be. The manager's thing was supposed to be 5 to 6 minutes. They went 14.
Yeah.
Burnett went about 16.
How long did I go? I couldn't have gone that long.
No, you were
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I went 5 minutes.
About 5.
Whoa.
I would say
Jay went a little longer.
Longest.
You actually did about 4, and then Jay did about 5 or 6, and then and Coy
was
did
up
like
first,
3.
though, wasn't he?
Yeah, Coy didn't go.
Coy didn't go too long.
But either way, it was very funny. It's just, and you can watch the raw edited one if you're on.
Yeah.
The raw edited one will always be on Patreon, and then the edited version will be on YouTube.
Word.
Okay, so.
God bless our editors.
I know.
I had a great time. It was great.
Joe and PA put in a Schmoebot, so did Skywalker Doman. We know him. And then Jake Acavetta also put one in. Pac-Man Dwayne. Michael Dingus again. Kate's rap reminded me of something I watched last night. I was watching a video on the history of the Star Tours ride. At the end, they showed a clip of C-3PO rapping. All right.
Oh,
They
I'm a
did?
robot.
You're golden
I am
today.
a robot.
You're golden today, so look at that.
Star Tours. Wait. Oh, Captain EO.
Captain
That's,
EO
I
was-
was just
yeah.
thinking of
Yeah.
Del Cooper. Yeah,
That's where
that
the
was-
finale of the movie, the play happens.
Yeah. At Disneyland.
Yeah, Joel Godina. See, I'm trying to move past this. Sorry, Kristian, but it's not that they don't respect Wentz. It is the fact that they rely on him more as they felt they needed to step up for Foles. Carson went 25 TDs and 7 interceptions, no receivers. Dak 26 and 11 with a lot more.
It's easier to get ingratiated with the underdog who comes in, who's had a journeyman career, and you step in, and it's this ragtag group. It's different when you have a quarterback who's making hundreds of millions of dollars more than anybody else on the team, so you have to gel, and that's taking time, but I think that Carson Wentz is the right guy going forward.
Craig Ward says, hi from the UK. Mark, I was so jealous of you visiting Lambeau Field. Oh, and that was the Schmoebot.
yeah.
Joel Godina
Go
said,
Pack,
Mark, do you
go.
do any impressions?
Nope.
That's not true. You
Nope.
do 2. You do 2 good ones.
I do.
You do 2 good ones.
I don't do Seth Rogen. I just do the laughs.
To do the laugh. and Norm Macdonald. You're a great Norm Macdonald.
I don't do a Norm Macdonald.
You sure do. What are you talking about? You don't.
It kind of drifts into my regular.
You can't do Norm?
Speech, but no, I can't do Norm on command.
You used to do it. It was really good.
I never did Norm Macdonald.
You
I
must
would
have
be.
always been hanging out with him at that coffee bean, because Santino and I once
Yeah,
were at that
he was
coffee
there all
bean
the time.
trying to write our stuff, and then we had to give Norm Macdonald a ride home that night. He came over, he was like,
I
what do
remember
you
that
guys
story.
up to?
Yeah.
Best story about that. I know the coffee bean you're
The
talking
coffee
about.
bean,
One
yeah,
time I
on
randomly
Third.
ran into Tom Dagnino, Finstock, and so we were in line, and then you know who was in line right in front of us, who we both high-fived? Mr. Richard Simmons. And
No.
it was during that time when nobody had
was
seen
missing?
Richard
Yeah.
Simmons for 2
Ever.
years, and we're like, we just saw him at Coffee Bean.
That place was magical for that. Before this Cobra Kai shit was going on, Ralph Macchio used to go there and hang
Did he
out.
really?
When he was in from the East Coast, and I remember that was the first time I had ever seen him in a long time. All right, last Streamlabs tonight. We haven't gotten to any super chat yet, so I want to get the super chat. Michael Dingus again was rewatching Empire Strikes Back and the space slug and the asteroids. He reminds me of the space whales in Rebels. Why do people hate the whales and not the slugs? Oh, that's very different. different. The space slug is it's very different. What?
You can tell where Kristian draws his line.
That's very true.
I love how you don't even you didn't even. But it's like the question continued.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true.
Why don't they like the space whales like they like the space slug? Well, the reason why they don't like the space slug is it's like, wait a minute, you just
I just think
as if he was reading his own answer.
Because the space whales are flying around in space. This thing is it's on this asteroid that could have been a planet billions of years beforehand that was on this asteroid living there. What? It was in the underground soil.
Of all the things that you could write your Star Wars fan fiction about.
Space whales.
I do not want space whales nor space frogs to infiltrate my beloved trilogy.
That's fair. This is from Jeremiah Morris, who says, I got my flight to New York, going to see Ellis live. Is there going to be anyone else performing?
Nope, this one's just me.
Is that true? Or maybe.
I'm taking up the whole time. I'm doing a tight 90. Yeah, there's going to be people opening for me. Maybe they're in this room.
Okay.
If Ben has a set.
Sean Drake says,
See, look at that winning smile.
I know.
It's true.
That guy could get 2 minutes. He could get by with 2 minutes just with the.
He just stole somebody's wallet. Sean Drake. The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we have no place to go, let it schlong, let it schlong, let it schlong.
Hey, Weather Channel again.
Such an opportunity to say let it schmo, let it schmo, let it schmo. I'm kind of upset by that.
Kristian used to Kristian was high on Let It Schmo.
Yeah.
Not just at Christmas time.
All the time.
Kristian's like, I think there should be a new thing. And I'm like, dude, it's July.
Yeah. Ben Skywalker in the chat. Happy Star Wars Week. Love the show. Will you guys be doing a Patreon for this show? Yes, David, Michael, Frank, and I have been talking about it. The SEN network in general will have a Patreon. We're going to probably run it in the beginning of next year. So look out for that.
Okay, look, I know DMF has the best hair in the business. Do we have to have the shampoo right in his shot?
It was a Christmas
It was a Christmas gift. You didn't get one, and neither did Winston.
Yeah.
We didn't.
That's typical Winston and Ellis.
That's right.
The pizza boys. They're like, go and get your own fucking pizza,
Get
bitch.
your own shit. Haskell 420, Rise of Skywalker DLC for Battlefront 2 tomorrow. Thank you, Tom Knight. Kristian, do or do not. There is no try. No, you're right. I'm going to get back into it. Lewis Round. Hi, any chances of seeing the White Stormtroopers revolt against Kylo and join the resistance with the Sith troopers? I love the show, Kristian and crew. I don't think we're going to see a revolt. No.
That would be super interesting.
They fly now. They fly now.
They fly now.
It's a clip. I've had blinders on.
Yeah, that's
since the second trailer, just
since the first.
Even because yesterday, last night during the Bills Steelers game, they ran like a big. As soon as I saw the Lucasfilm thing, I was like, mute. I only got to do this one more day because I'll watch all of them after I see the movie. But I'm like, I'm this close to it.
Yeah.
I just have this awful feeling I'm gonna get my phone is just gonna go crazy with the whole plot, and there's no way to stop it.
And that part of me is glad that I wasn't doing any press junkets or anything for this because it would have killed. I mean, I guess you would have to have seen the movie before you go talk to them.
No. I did it for Rotten Tomatoes, and it was really weird because the cast had just seen the movie the night before.
Okay,
and so they were all. That's why that got me
they
more
didn't
excited.
let them do that for Force Awakens.
No,
so
because and they all were acting like they knew they had something really special, which is exciting for me. And so I'm just talking to them
that's awesome.
I never really understood. Do you need to see the movie before you talk to 4 minutes?
No, not for 3 minutes. But the publicists are so weird about that shit. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But
you hadn't seen the movie.
Well, there's some people that
it's Ford versus Ferrari. There's cars in it.
Yeah.
Give me 4 minutes.
Let's see. Brandon Barrett. Nick Cannon started it by going on a podcast and bringing it up for no reason. Then M responded on Fat Joe track.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you Eminem started this. Just out of the blue, he decided to punk Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon
started it.
Oh, so he did.
Nick Cannon didn't do a diss track to start it. He was talking. Yeah, he was.
He brought it up on some podcast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did Moby start it with Eminem too?
No.
Quick Nick Cannon story.
Yeah.
Can you save it? Let me finish these things. Hold it. We'll close the show with it.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, we got to get to space whales versus space slugs.
This is pretentious D-bag. He says he's got a video of guy getting hit by a chair on a 1 hour loop on his YouTube channel. All right, we'll check that out. And then Gerald Boney. Any chance of T coming on the show? I haven't heard from T in a long time. Have you?
Yeah.
What's going on with T? How is she?
She's doing great.
What's she working on?
She should come by the show.
Yeah.
sometime.
What is she working on? She's still doing her show. Or
she's still doing stuff. I'm not sure if because she left Cinefix, and I'm not sure what she picked up after that. But
YouTube channel.
Was that?
Nappy-headed jojoba. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She has a personal YouTube channel.
Okay, we're gonna check that out. T would be great. I actually want to see if T wants to be in the draft too. Haskell 420 between Dan Snyder and New York's Dolan, who owns the Knicks. The GoFundMe to make them go away could reap millions.
Yeah,
Damn,
Dolan
worse.
over Snyder.
Yeah.
Dolan is way worse.
I agree. And Haskell again. Kristian, do Sebastian trying to figure out Jedi Fallen Order. I'd say, why am I playing this? Lightsabers and giant frogs. I'm going for a jog. Steve Stacy. Hey, Mark, will you come tell jokes in Madison, Wisconsin?
Yeah, did you go to Madison?
I did not go to Madison.
The Berkeley of the Midwest, baby.
What?
Madison, Wisconsin. They call it the Berkeley of the Midwest.
No, I did three. I did like Wisconsin Whitewater, and I did Wisconsin Stevens Point. Stevens Point is where our boy Robert Parker was. Robert Parker, he's going to be in the draft, I believe, next year.
I don't think so.
Oh no, he can't make it. Oh God, he's a funny dude.
Yeah, he's
been working on stand-up too.
He's really good.
Yeah,
he's funny. I also wanted to get into the three more in the streamlabs.com/theschmoedown. Let's see. We have, two more. Suge Knight. Yo, everyone was a little busy, but Mark, did you enjoy the chants of Schmoebot and Schlong chants at the Spectacular? Kristian, it's okay. Some of us just aren't good at video games. Can we get an Arnold playing fuck it? All right.
I honestly did not notice the chants of. I think I might have heard one Schmoebot chant. I didn't hear any of the Schlong stuff.
Oh, you did?
I really did.
Okay. Yeah, there were.
Which doesn't mean try harder.
No.
Also, Suge went on the record last Wednesday as saying that Magic Johnson's a better basketball player, more important than Michael Jordan, whatever it was.
Suge
and I just wanted this. Yes, Suge said that because he's an LA guy through and through. But I just want to say the other day in Los Angeles, where I live, I saw a truck go by with 3 Jumpman stickers all over it, which is oh wait, that's right, that's Michael Jordan.
All right, let's see.
Say better or more important?
He said that it was more like what? Don't stop RB3.
Okay. So
Mike's both.
Jonathan.
Mike's both.
Hi everybody. The holidays are just upon us. What is everyone's favorite Christmas guilty movie pleasures? My personal favorites are 2000's The Grinch and Jingle All the Way.
Home Alone 2.
Well,
We've been watching those on repeat.
Those aren't guilty though.
Yeah, everybody agrees.
I'm guilty about it.
Friday After Next. I'll say it every single time. Friday After Next. It's a great Christmas movie. Mike Epps at peak Mike Epps form.
Shit, I don't know.
It's amazing.
I'm not sure. Die Hard 2?
Die Hard 2 is not a guilty pleasure. It's a great cinema. I think I don't know if it's a guilty. Harold and Kumar's Christmas isn't underrated as far as a Christmas movie goes. It's really funny.
Yeah. Last one. K. Wascalver. Kristian and crew. Final Rise of Skywalker predictions. Mine is that Han Solo shows up and Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine. I don't want to give any because when I do, people are like, you knew something. So I'm not doing it anymore.
My prediction is Kristian and I go to the premiere tonight, and we have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, I'll tweet about it. I figured the way that I'm going to tweet about it, I said if I don't like it, I'm just going to say Mandalorian's coming out. I'm excited for Mandalorian this week. So
is there a chance you really won't like it?
Yes,
really?
Of course.
He didn't like Last Jedi, and he certainly wasn't thinking that before.
But when I saw Last Jedi the first time, I didn't tweet about it because I needed to think about it. And I went second time and I saw it. And
I believe that was your tweet, though.
No, I didn't. I didn't tweet.
I thought the night of you tweeted.
I did on the way back, and I said I have a lot to think about. Going to have it tomorrow. So then the next day I saw it again, and then when I'm saying, okay, I think again it is a well-made film, and I told myself I think I liked it more than I did, and the more and more I watch it, I dislike it more. It falls down on my list every time I watch that movie. But I gotta watch it tonight, see how I feel about it, see how they use Palpatine. Palpatine coming in early is going to mean a lot if that happens.
I'll tell you what I'm going to tweet tonight. Oh, God, I'm coming. Oh, God.
Don't go full Louis C.K. on me, bro. Don't do that.
That's just what I'm typing. I'm not actually doing it. I'm not actually orgasming, guys. That'd be disgusting.
Yeah. So I think that's...
in your kitchen.
What was your story?
Hashtag let's try again in 10
tell
minutes.
Your story that you
Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
came back from South Africa and did a main room show.
Yes.
One of his first ever appearances back, selling tickets to go see him. And Chappelle was in the main room. It was sold out. Leo DiCaprio was there. Bruce Willis. There was a lot of celebrities there to watch Dave Chappelle. And And he had a couple openers that went on really long, and then you're like, oh, Jesus, who's next? Al Madrigal comes up next, and Al Madrigal crushed in a very tough environment because they just wanted to see Dave. And then after Al, it's like, okay, well, Al got the crowd back, so here comes Dave. Nick Cannon goes up next. And you just saw a guy who, God bless Nick Cannon, you saw a guy who has done stand-up, but he got up there, and you could see the look in his eye change. Because it's like, oh, I'm going up, and people know who Nick Cannon is.
And he probably got arrogant because he saw Al do
seconds,
it. Yeah.
You could see the look in his eye change, like, oh, God. And it was...
disaster.
It didn't go. It didn't go
well. McClunky. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. David, hit the music. Perfect. Welcome, and we're really happy that you guys were able to join us today. Again, we're going to be off tomorrow, but the Schmoedown Spectacular will be running from 9 a.m. all the way up. Thank you to Ben Goddard, RB3, David, Michael, Frank, Winston, Marshall, Kate, Mulligan, the great Mark Ellis. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Make sure you, if you join Patreon, patreon.com/Schmoedown. Thank you for everything that you do here. Go to podcasts. Go to our SEN Clips channel. Do it all. We got a lot of stuff here working for you today. We'll see you on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.